We are here tonight at Adelaide Street Circuit. It's 14 turns of action coming right at you with walls closer than you'd ever expect. The length is 3.2 kilometres, should I say. And the qualifying has been set during the week. It's been a different format this time. We've had a week-long qualifying, and the guys are ready to go for the top 10 shootout, which will be coming up very soon, ladies and gentlemen. And then following that is the 2-hour enduro timed race. The fastest in qualifying was Alex McKuen, Zach O'Reilly, and I think he is rip-roaring and ready to go. I tell you what, these guys have done, I think it was a combined 6,000 or so laps between the whole field practice this week in the qualifying server.
Yeah, and it was 2,400, I think it was, just by the top 10. So they are flogging it around here. And it is close in that top 10 shootout, if you don't mind. I know it's round 2 here at Adelaide, but the times from first to the 10th wasn't even a second, Chris Munro. So if you work that out, that's a 10th of a second average between every single driver around the Adelaide Street Circuit. 14 turns, as you said, and only a 10th in it. That's bloody incredible.
We've got the top 10 qualifiers here up on screen as well. Alex McKuen was the top time in the server with a 1:16.8, followed by Nick Mello with a 1:17.1. So Alex McKuen, the only one in the 16s tonight. Lachlan Grant not far behind on a 17.3, followed by James Claypole on 17.5, with Matt Cotter. I think those guys are around the wrong way. Actually, it was James Claypole with the 17.3 and Grant with the 17.5, followed by Cotter in 5th with Brandon Pearce with the 1:17.8. As you can see, all of these guys in the 17s. It is tighter than a witch's cleft here in the top 10 shootout. Andrew Ferguson, Bernie Russley, Stephen Marsden and Nathan Hughes make out your top 10 tonight. And we are just getting ready. I can hear the revs out on track. We're going to click that top 10 server on here at the moment, so that is ready to go. The race director Taylor Simmons can let the guys know to join the server, and we're going to join them too very shortly once we get confirmation that we're able to. Let's get out of there. Zach O'Reilly, what are you predicting tonight for the top 10 shootout?
Well, it's going to be one of those things because, Chris, I know that time from Alex McKuen seems pretty bloody good, viewers, but when you're thinking about the grand scheme of things, he did I think, about 200 laps or about 130 laps valid, put it that way, and he just got the 16. So the qualifying pace is relative, ladies and gentlemen, especially for the top 10 shootout to get in, but these guys have been doing this for about a week. So the one-off lap pace could be relative, or it might not even be representative to what we see here. I reckon at this stage, I'm going to put a dark horse in there and put Brandon Pearce coming out on top in the shootout, because it's all about turn 1 and 2, and he's nailed that every single time. Alex McKuen will be up there with Nick Mello, but I reckon Brandon Pearce is the dark horse for the whole position for the race.
Yeah, the guys from Project 4, McKuen and Mello, both have locked out the front row provisionally. But as you said, Zach O'Reilly, it's one thing having 200-odd laps during the week to get the job done, and perhaps it's a completely different story having one lap to do it as well. So we're going to see how these guys handle the pressure. And I think, who have we got up first? It's Nathan Hughes, but he is not in the server yet. So we're just waiting for Nathan Hughes to get his bum in the server in his FGX. If someone can notify him. Oh, no, it looks like people are leaving the server. So we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give that a reset while Zach goes through some other facts about tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what. With Adelaide itself, we've got not only 14 turns, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a staircase to navigate, which is turns basically 4, 5, 6, 7 onto the back straightaway. When we've got turns 4, 5, 6, and 7, Chris, it's one of those rhythm sections of the track. You could gain probably 2 or 3 tenths in that if you get it absolutely spot on. And I would love to see someone nail that here in the top 10 shootout tonight. The walls themselves are as sticky as your fresh plum pudding out of the oven, and they will literally be one of the factors for the damage department here. We've told the racers, or actually maybe we haven't, but we've told the top 10 shootout guys that it's at full damage spec for the top 10 shootout.
You know what, we did forget.
We did forget, didn't we?
That's
Oh,
all
it doesn't
right.
matter. They know
okay.
now. Look out. If they're not watching the stream, they're up shit creek without a paddle.
Yep.
But nonetheless, it is 100% damage. And throughout the race, it's only at 75. But those walls bite hard. I can tell you that. If you have anything above like a yellow or a yellow and an orangey sort of downforce damage on your car, you're in trouble here around Adelaide. But nonetheless, it's a very bumpy circuit. We're going to see cars bouncing around on the stream live, ready to go. It's going to be action everywhere, and I cannot wait for turn 1 shenanigans, if they ever happen here, on lap 1 for the rest of them. We might see a Jason Bright. We might see some cars go off into the fence and out of the track circuit. We hope we don't, but I'll tell you what, it'll be entertaining if we do. It's sensational TV in the Combox.
We're all about entertainment here in the Combox here at Sensational TV. And as you can see there on our screen in between us, the cars are out on track now in the pit lane, just waiting on direction from our beautiful race director, Taylor Simmons, who is sitting up there with a bird's eye view of the track. And so we are just currently waiting. We're going to just maybe go a little closer look here at Nathan Hughes. He is our first qualifier tonight, just waiting for that to happen. But in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, actually, Zach O'Reilly, we can look at the team the driver standings actually from round 1. So we have on top. I'm going to move that out of the way because that is not where it wants to be. Nick Mello is the man to beat tonight. He is leading the championship again. He's on 292 points, and just following him is Matt Cotter with Harley Marshall close in tow, Alex McKuen, Lachlan Grant making out the top 5 with Elliot Pearce, Claypole, Garrick Marsden, Cook, O'Connor, Sharp, Schmerley, Fitness, Marshall, Pine, Tam, Hughes and Nielsen are making out your top 20 tonight. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there is movement at the station. Nathan Hughes is currently on his outlap, so we're going to get down onto the track and see how he can get those tyres warmed up for this dead set ball tearing 1 lap shootout here for Nathan Hughes. He's got nothing to lose because he will finish 10th whether he bins it or not. So he's out there and he's got nothing to lose. He's warming up his tyres right now. So Zach O'Reilly, if you want to start the proceedings and let's gee whiz, it's all happening. We'll get some predictions in the chat too. Who's going to move up? Who's going to stay down? What are your final top 10 predictions? It's all about to happen here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I can't wait. Here comes Nathan Hughes. He is about to start his account and open it, hopefully with style, for his mum in the chat. Heather Hughes is watching on here. And I'll tell you what, she'll be cheering to hell and high water at the moment for her son to be crossing this line and hopefully stick it in the top 10. Here we go. First corner of the track. Does he navigate it right?
No.
I'm not too sure if it is or not. We can't see here on the circuit. Is that a track cut for Nathan Hughes? He navigated that very tightly, but it gets it slapped down into second gear. Just hits that outside curb here at turn 4. Now into turn 5. It gets it perfectly pointed in there. No oversteer evident there as he comes out of turn 4. Here we go into turn 6, and we're on to the back straightaway as we come in. He's got that car pointed nicely. Looking very hooked up here is Nathan Hughes. Oh, yeah. There is not a hint of oversteer on that car at the moment as we fire up the gears into 4th, down into 5th gear as well. Will he hit 6th gear coming into the quick turn 8 coming up? Yes, he does. Absolutely full balls to the wall action. Did not lose any throttle there. Straps it down into 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Is he going to get 1st gear? He's on right there. Oh, no, Nathan Hughes has gone wide. He's just lost a little bit of time there. We'll see how it goes. But here he is. He's going to navigate the double left-hander. Very important car to get perfectly on exit. Get the car pointed towards the wall as well. He's just touched it there. That is exciting stuff there from Nathan Hughes. It's not going to be quick at this point in time, but we'll see where it points him in. Can he get it stopped for the final U-turn here onto the front straightaway? That rear end in his car is looking absolutely planted, though, nonetheless. Monroe, Nathan Hughes is going to cross the line now. Is that a valid lap or not? Oh, it's a 1:19.2, but I don't know if it's counted. I think he got a track cut, ladies and gentlemen. And that is his one lap shootout done and dusted with no result.
Nathan Hughes, we are live on board with you at the moment, my man. Talk us through that lap.
I just overthought it coming into turn 1, and my VR headset started to fog, so I could not see anything by the end of the lap.
That's not ideal.
Not ideal, mate. All the best for the race, all right? It's a long one to go. We'll keep your chin up for you.
Cheers, boys.
There we go, riding a bit of thoughts from the super coach there. Now, the next one to cross the line is Stephen Marsden, actually. He's just going out for his outlap at the moment. The time to beat is, whatever he puts down, because that lap was invalidated pretty much from the start there from Nathan Hughes. So, as I said earlier, he had nothing to lose in this qualifying session. So he really did take it balls to the wall, quite literally there, Zach O'Reilly.
he was a cigarette paper or a bee's foreskin away from some of those walls, but he hit some and he didn't slap them too hard, which is okay, but that's okay for Nathan Hughes. He'll have his chin up and ready to race. He's got a good race car underneath him. I've heard during the week, Chris Munro, that it's all ready to go for him, so no stress. But I'll tell you what, speaking of stress at the moment, Stephen Marsden in the Volvo is an absolutely sensational driver when it comes to one lap pace. He knows where to put that car. He knows where it is. He's got Need for Speed on his dashboard, so he is ready to rock and roll. And I'll tell you what, for this warm-up lap, Chris, he is using those front tyres and getting them as hot as an inferno, because that is some leaving I've ever seen there at the moment. But he's going to get himself set up for the next section of the track here to get those front tyres warmed up, ready to go. I'm hoping he's going to set maybe a high 118 at best, maybe a mid 117 here to get him put around the front of the grid here. I'll give you the honours here, Chris Munro, for the second runner here at the top 10 shootout, Stephen Marsden. Fire away.
Absolutely. From CUFM Racing, his qualifying time was 1:17.887, and he is just about primed to pass the start-finish line for the first time, and he'll be thinking a lot about this lap, but it's not about how you think, it's about how you react, and he just throws it in through you see that same line there from Nathan Hughes. This might be an invalidated lap already, but he's going to just stick it out because, as we said, these guys down the bottom have nothing else to lose. He's got through the first 3 turns pretty good here so far into the staircase, and he ducks, dives, weaves. He gets it turned in there through the staircase out of turn 7 and fires his way down this back straight where you might see a few little overtaking opportunities. But in the real world, they don't let you go too wide through here into turn 8. We're going to see how he navigates through here quite nicely, keeps it off the wall. A little conservative there from Stephen Marsden, perhaps just trying to get a banker on the wall. Oh, look, he's lost it there. That's a big slide into turn 9. That's going to lose him a hell of a lot of the time if indeed this lap is valid. But here he goes through turn 12 now, or 11 should I say, through turn 12, 13 and 14 to come. This isn't the tidiest lap from Stephen Marsden. I've seen a lot better from him in top 10 shootouts in the past. He comes around the final turn. I don't think he's going to be too happy with this lap, ladies and gentlemen. He crosses the line, and let's just see what time gets posted here. No, it's another invalid lap, ladies and gents. So he will start 9th at worst.
I'll tell you what, Chris Munro, Mr. Pearce will be absolutely licking his lips, because I said at the start that he wanted to get nailed turn 1 and 2. So he's looking at all these other drivers going, well, no one's done it yet. There's 2 out of 10 that haven't done it yet, and invalidated the lap. It is so important, ladies and gentlemen, to get that first turn right, else the whole lap is just a waste. And we've seen that now for Nathan Hughes and Stephen Marsden. But don't stress. We have got the next man on track, and
we've got a little short interview with Stephen Marsden as well, if we can. Yep. Stephen, was it the first chicane where you invalidated your lap?
It was, my friend. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that on the stream. You looked just a little bit too wide for comfort there, and we were all praying that the stopwatch did not stop, but apparently it did. But at least you stuck it out for the remainder of the lap.
The tyres up. I just no, not even close. But hey, we'll see how we go. It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck in the race, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, who is our next man out on track, ladies and gentlemen?
Mr. Rullsey is out on track, ladies and gentlemen, and he is circulating around, warming those tyres up, just like Stephen Marsden did as well. I'd probably recommend, guys, to put your tyre pressures up maybe 1 or 2 PSI if you're doing this top 10 shootout, because you won't have to worry about them getting too cold on the outlap. I'll give you the hot tip. But nonetheless, the first of the Commodore runners here is Bernie Rullsey in Not Right Racing. And you can see that he's got Toto Wolff everywhere as well. If you're a Formula One fan, you know exactly what's going on there. Probably one of my favourite liveries. But he is a dark horse here tonight. It's Bernie. It's not right, my kid, not right. So we'll see what he goes. But let's ride on board with him for his absolutely sensational lap here, hopefully coming up for him. Hopefully I haven't commentator cursed him at this point in time as Bernie crosses the line right about now to start. He is top 10 shootout lap in the account. Let's see if he can get turn 1 right. I think that is good. Just enough. That is pretty good there from Bernie Rullsey. Bit of conservative, and that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Gets it turned in very, very nicely here into turn 2. Just a little bit wide, but not too much there for himself. He's floating all over the place a little bit there for the server. Nicely pointed in there. Runs just enough wideness on the track there. Gets a break at the 40-metre mark. Over that inside curb, onto the outside curb. Uses that as a bit of extra traction. Pointed in lovely here is Bernie. Right onto the run to the back straight. Bit too far over the curb there. That'll hamper his momentum by about a tenth here for Bernie, but that won't hamper him because he knows at this stage if he can get it all put together, he's in P1 here for the time being at the top 10 shootout. Flat into T8 there. Beautifully navigated there by Bernie Rullsey. Hard braking at the 150 board. Into third, into second. Slaps it into first to get it pointed and turned in. A little bit of oversteer on exit there, but not too much at all. Just about perfect there for Bernie. Hangs it wide here into the double left-hander coming up into turns 12 now. The exits turn 12 very nicely. Very conservative, but tidy lap here from Bernie Rullsey so far. Absolutely loving watching this. Very, very controlled. He's navigating the final turn just as we speak. Gets it turned in nicely. Turn, point, apex. Beautiful throttle modulation there on exit. And he's going to fire it the quickest way down the circuit, straight next to the exit. And that is a 1:19.3 for Bernie Rullsey. But I can't see if that's validated or not either. That looks like it's invalid.
Yeah, I think that looks like he might have... Oh, geez. Maybe it was a 1:19.3. Oh, geez. Well, the server just updating there, but I guess we'll find out once it all clicks over at the end. A 1:19.3 for now, provisionally for Bernie Rullsey. Talk us through that lap, Bernie. How was that?
Gutted. Yeah, it might have been invalid at the start. It was definitely unclean, but the car was great. Dylan really helped out with that, so beautiful car, just bad talent, so hopefully better in the race.
We are half shitting ourselves here in the commentary box thinking that none of the laps are getting done here, but if that was a track cut, that makes sense. But that was pace just on Nathan Hughes there. On Nathan Hughes, yes, Bernie Rullsey. So you're bang on with those two. We'll look forward to seeing you in the race going through with him.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Next up, ladies and gents, we have, who we got? Fergo. Andrew Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen. He's just completing his outlap down the back, as you can see. Doing a bit of drift work there as well. He might have got the... Well, I assume his teammate from FUCM Racing, Stephen Marsden, would have told him that the tyres just aren't quite up to temp with your conventional tyre warming technique. So he has gone for a little bit out of the box there and really doing a bit of drift work down the back, trying to get those tyres up to temp. Can we get one driver through with a valid lap, ladies and gentlemen? This is Andrew Ferguson from FUCM Racing. Qualifying time was 1:17.770, and he's about to go down the front straight and past the start-finish line for now. Let's see if he can get this first turn right. Someone do it. That looks pretty good to me, Zach O'Reilly. He is still in the business. He goes up to turn 3 now, gets on the brakes, turns it in. That's a pretty nice front end there, if you ask me. Gets it turned nicely, gets the power down very smoothly as well. Andrew Ferguson, no stranger to a top 10 shootout. He's been in this server, in this league now for at least 3 years now. So it's he's missed that exit there on turn 7, which really cost you down this long straight, because that's where you really want to just make up a bit of time. If you can get that power down out of turn 7 through turn 8 now, really nice and conservative. Andrew Ferguson trying his best to keep this car straight and clean. Gets the power down. Oh, the brakes. Oh, he's lost it in the exact same moment that exact same fashion that Stephen Marsden did not too long ago. Oh, gee whiz. But I'll tell you what, as long as this lap is valid, he'll be cheering, I think, at the moment. It's a war of attrition as he comes down to the final turn. Andrew Ferguson, what kind of time can he put down in the server here? He gets the power down, a bit of a slide out of turn 14, and he crosses the line for I'm tipping about a 119.9. That'll do. That is... that's our first valid lap of the night, ladies and gentlemen. So let me just get Ferguson up into the chat. Andrew Ferguson, a 119.9, and the first valid lap of the night. How do you feel?
Well, I'm pretty happy to hear that. That was, obviously it wasn't a spectacular time, but I banked it, obviously, so that's what I was going for.
Yeah, the first.
That's all you need to do.
First one yet to bank one. So that's holding steady. That's a 1 out of 4, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys do any setup work together during the week? I saw FUCM Racing was one of the top practice lap putters in for this week. How are you guys steadying for the race?
Yeah, I think we're going all right. We're probably a little bit underdone on race pace for the week of quali. Always intensifies that sort of end of the setup, but Marsden did the lion's share of tweaking Zach's setup, and it's been very good. So, but still a really not a great circuit for me. So we'll see how we go.
Awesome. Good luck for the race, mate.
Good luck, mate.
Have a good night, boys.
Next up,
ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Pearce. He is circulating the final 3 turns of this track, and I'll tell you what, fat man, he will be looking to put that valid lap in that I've so desperately wanted to see for the first 3 competitors. Took until the 4th to get one, but will Brandon Pearce do it? Are we going to commentator curse him at the moment? Don't know what he's doing, swerving down the straight, just trying to get that car warmed up before he gets it pointed in and turned. Oh no, that looks very shallow, but he's got it pointed in somehow and made that work there, ladies and gentlemen. I have a feeling this is a good lap from Brandon Pearce coming up. Gets it turned in nicely down to first, so a different gear ratio here for Brandon Pearce into basically the first of the staircases as we go up and down. He uses that inside curve very nicely. A little bit of oversteer on exit there for Brandon Pearce. Inside of the curb nicely. Uses that curb on the outside. Breaks it at the 30-metre board. Will he point it in and turn nicely? Yes, he does. Just runs it on the overside of that outside curb for the run up onto the back straightaway. That is the best run that we've seen yet, I would say, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, from anyone in Sundry. Brandon Pearce nearly at the limit basher of turn 8 there. He is bang on the top speed at 240. Breaks it down into first gear. He will go straight away. Points it in nicely. Very conservative here from Brandon Pearce. Throttle traces nicely on exit there. No oversteer evident here. Double left-hander coming up. Uses all the outside of the circuit. Points it in nicely. Apex is lovely. Uses all the car width. Nearly touches the outside wall there. Absolutely sensational stuff from Brandon Pearce so far. Navigates turn 13 well. Is he going to get it pointed and stopped into turn 14 without any oversteer? He does. Beautifully done here. Half on the throttle already. Little bit of oversteer on exit for Brandon Pearce. Comes down over the front straightaway. This surely will be a valid lap, ladies and gentlemen. It is not from Brandon Pearce. He still has not managed to get a valid lap in, and that is disaster for him. Pearso, tell us, mate, what happened at the start there? It looked good until it wasn't.
Absolutely heartbroken. Just couldn't get the car rotated as much as I thought I would, but thought if I pushed the outlap a lot more than the other guys, the tyres would be warm up enough, but unfortunately not. But that's all right. There's a few invalids in front of me, so.
Tell your teammate Claypole to bump those PSI numbers up a little bit, son, to get the tyres warm, because it's everyone tonight apart from Mr. Ferguson, including you, and not including yourself, unfortunately, but all the best. It's a long way for the race, mate. We'll catch you on stream.
Thanks,
all the
boys.
best.
Another one bites the dust. We've had five cars, ladies and gentlemen, and only one valid lap. So this seems to be the theme for the night. Who's up next? We've got the man, the driver of the day from last round out. It's Matt Cotter. He's second in the championship. And wherever he goes, there's fireworks behind him. He will give us something, whether it be a pole position or an absolute bin. And I think just here on the exit of turn 8, might be the culprit, but we'll see when we get there. He's just he's choosing not to warm up his tyres too much. It seems that he's going for a more conservative approach when it comes to warming them up, or he's just waiting to the end of the lap to do so. Yeah, now he starts to do a bit of weaving, get some heat and pressure into those tyres. Matt Cotter is one of the more aggressive drivers in this server and a multiple series champion. He will start from 5th here from Centre Defend Motorsport. His qualifying time was 1 minute 17.544, and he comes around the final turn here trying to get as much traction as possible so he can just fire his way down this front straight. And let's see how he tackles this first chicane very nicely. I think he might be watching the stream and seeing everyone just fail before him, because that was quite conservative from Matt Cotter. But I'll tell you what, the clock is still ticking, and that's nicely done there out of turn 3 into turn 4, just clipping the curb there, which is where you want to be. Gets it nice and wide on the entry here, and again, just really pin perfect in car position. Maybe just a little bit wide on the exit of 7 there, but he gets it fired down the back straight. Nice and good. Nice and good. Gee whiz.
Nice and good.
Oh, I tell you what, it's tough going here in the commentary box. But here he goes. Tips it into turn 8. Touches the inside wall. It's the outside wall. That is disaster for Matt Cotter. I think he might have some damage there, of course. Look at the front of that ZB. It's absolutely cooked. He can't even get it turned in. That's the end of the lap for Matt Cotter. Oh, disaster.
Wow, where do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? Matt Cotter making an unforced error on his top 10 shootout lap. He is a specialist at that at the best of time, ladies and gentlemen. And he is royally planted that thing harder into the wall than a bulldozer at a demolition site. And he will be looking to rue the opportunity that he possibly had to overtake Fergo for a pole position. But he's now going to have to settle for 6th place at best at this point in time to get that job done, unless he can get around with some time. He's got struggling to turn it. And he's lifted at the final corner. He's doing everything to get it across the line. Is Matt Cotter. Oh, that is absolutely heartbreaking for him at the moment for Matt Cotter. Where will he put it across the line? 1 minute 36 puts him in 2nd place. So he's got the valid lap in regardless of the spin. So this could be an upset of the round, and he might end up in the top 5 after bidding it in the corner, Chris Munro.
Yeah.
We've got him in the chat now. Matt Cotter. Holy mackerel, mate. That was incredible stuff there. Unfortunate, but you found yourself in 2nd at the moment.
One way to make up a few positions in quali.
It sure is. We were riding on every bump there, and the Supercoach called it. The exit of turn 8 was your demise in the end. But thanks to a few invalid laps in front of you, as Zach said, you're still in the hunt for at least 6th position here at the moment. So that's good stuff, really, in the end.
Yeah, thanks for that. The main goal was just to make turn 1, where I was been struggling. I've been struggling around here all week, so try to get a clean lap. Turned in too early turn 8, getting a bit too greedy as drivers do, and paid the price. But have fun in the race, see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck out there, mate, and good luck for the race.
Thanks.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our next driver on the circuit is Mr. Lachlan Grant himself from Mobile One Racing. And he got into the top 10 shootout with a time of 1:17.513. So not even a cigarette paper between himself and Matt Cotter there to scrape into 4th. So we'll see what he can do. 121 laps done between Monday to Sunday night in Lachlan Grant. So he knows his way around the circuit here. And I reckon he's going to be a hot chance here to maybe validate the lap on turn 1. We've commentator cursed everyone in front of him here, so we'll stick off that. Here he is at the moment. Chris Munro, where are we going to see Lachlan Grant? Give us your time. Take it away, my old son.
Let's go. It's me again. It's Grant across the start-finish line, and he will tip it into turn 1. Can he get it inside the lines here? That looks pretty good to me. Nicely done through turn 2 and on the run up the hill to turn 3. Gets the anchors on nice and conservatively. I guess as we've seen, the war of attrition here is just keeping it on the circuit in a nice clean manner. And I tell you what, not only is he keeping it clean, but it looks nice and smooth and quick as well at the moment. Lachie Grant doing his oh, look at that. That's the best we've seen around turn 7 at the moment. He is absolutely flying here, I think. I'm just going to wait for some sector times. That is purple in the first sector, ladies and gentlemen. That's a 36. 36.4 in the first sector, navigates turn 8 without a worry at all. This is a fantastic lap here from Lachlan Grant. Can he get the brakes on down for turn 9? He does. Just misses the apex by a slither, but it's not going to worry him too much as he tips into this little technical section. You want to run it wide, maybe just touch that outside curb, but I tell you what, he knows where he's at the moment. He can see the delta and he knows he's up for a provisional pole here. If he just puts it all together, he's just got to get on the brakes here for the last time around this lap here for the top 10 shootout here for Lachlan Grant. Beautifully done on the throttle down to the finish line, and that is going to be pole position for Lachlan Grant, and the first man to dip into the 18s, an 18.9.
Well done to Lachlan Grant. That was absolutely sensational stuff there from himself. We've got him here in the room at the moment for Lachlan Grant, and mate, that was a sensational lap on pole position provisionally. How'd you feel?
Oh, mate, these things scare the shit out of me. These shootouts, far out. I'm shaking.
Well, that's what they call adrenaline rush, my friend, and that's exactly what put you up to the plate with a 1:18.930. That's a pretty good time, I would say, around here for one lapper, and you've got about 3 other drivers ready to go behind you. Where do you think you'll end up?
Hopefully up the front. These other 2 boys or 3 boys, they're fucking quick.
Well, mate, I'll tell you what, we'll leave it as that, and we'll go from there. Lachlan Grant, well done. Congratulations. We'll see you in the race. All the best for the rest of the evening.
Thanks, boys.
We have sorry, I was just muted myself there. It is James Claypole on his outlap, just down the back. Got one eye on the qualifying time, the timer. Hopefully we can get these last 3 cars out in time. We've only got 8 minutes to go, so if we can get some comms to our race director to get these guys around the track just a little bit quicker, we might just get everyone through without an absolute disaster. But James Claypole is your third man to go here tonight. He is here for Monster Energy Racing, the number 261. His qualifying time was a 17.3, ladies and gents. And I think Zach O'Reilly's going to take him for a lap, or take us for a lap around Adelaide Street Circuit.
Here we go. I can't wait. The Iron Rod is going to be all hard steam ahead. He's just come straight out of the furnace, ready to fire around Adelaide. Here's the Iron Rod, full steam ahead. Oh, that is not good. He's cut his lap off. James Claypole has binned it. The malfunction of the machinery he has just come fresh out of has basically done him over. He knows it already, and that is an invalid lap here for James Claypole. Wonder if he'll keep going on just to get a bit of a banker in to see where the car feels on a super soft tyre. I don't think so. He's going around here at a snail's pace, ladies and gentlemen, just sort of getting the car pointed in. I was excited for all that, but the Iron Rod has just sent it into the wall. I don't know what he's doing here, ladies and gentlemen. Whacks it straight in. He's not happy at all at the moment, is Mr. Claypole. Unfortunately done, Mr. Claypole, but you're still going to be 8th at the best at this moment. What happened there at T1?
Me wheel disconnected.
Oh. A bit of technical difficulties there, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll tell you what, that sucks, James Claypole. Unfortunate for you, my friend, but don't worry, it's a long race ahead, my dear friend. Keep your head up, and we'll see you in the big stuff at this point in time.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
Some absolute disaster there from Claypole. This track is proving to be a thorn in the side of a lot of these drivers when it comes down to the pressure, Zach O'Reilly.
Mate, a thorn, more like an absolute knife from a hunting dagger, I reckon. It's just ripping the hearts out of everyone at the moment. But don't you worry, Nick Mallow is the next guy out on track, and I reckon I'm going to have another stab at this, Chris Munro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I got robbed from that one, but this is our season champion from last season, ladies and gentlemen, from season 11, Nick Mallow, and he did it very convincingly there in the Project 4 VF Commodore, and he's doing it here again tonight. He's going to be wanting to prove that T1 is not a devil's advocate of a corner for everyone tonight, but we'll see at this point in time what he can do. He's warmed up his tyres well. He's going to get straight into qualifying mode at the moment. Him and his teammate Alex McKuen were very quick, but Nick Mallow says his lap times around here are very good on the one lap. department. So let's see what he can do. He rounds the final turn. We're onto the front straight away. He's about to commence his first lap here. Will he get T1 nailed here? Brakes just at the 100-metre board. Gets it nailed. I think that's just enough. Gets the car balanced and pointed over. Very, very settled there was the VF Commodore for Nick Mello. Slaps it down into second gear. Navigates the inside. Just missed the apex a little bit. It didn't hamper him too much there on the outside. Now he was the second braking mark here in the staircase. Turn 2 of the staircase section. Very well done there from Nick Mello. Brakes at the 30-metre board. Very conservative, but very, very controlled here for Nick Mello. All rev limiters bashing at the moment here for Nick Mello. A little bit of oversteer on exit up onto the back straightaway here. Coming up to the fast sweeping turn 8. The Matt Cotter corner, we'll call it tonight. The concrete Cotter, we'll call it here. Here's Nick Mello going to absolutely send it through there. He does. Full throttle. Just taps the wall on the outside there, but doesn't hamper him at all. Brakes a car very, very early there into first gear. Navigates T9 very, very well there, does Nick Mello. Looks very settled at the moment. He was on the throttle very early through the corner. Double left-hander here, coming right up. Nails it. Uses all the outside of the track. Just a hint of oversteer, but very controlled there for Nick Mello. This is going to be a quick lap, ladies and gentlemen, around Adelaide. It's going to be incredible here. Can he get the last one done here, Chris Munro? We'll see what he does. No oversteer on exit, just on the slip angle there. That is brilliant driving here from Nick Mello. What's it going to do in the grand scheme of things? That is a 118 dead, ladies and gentlemen. A second over Lachlan Grant there for Nick Mello. Holy mackerel. Nick Mello, what an absolute stunner of a lap there tonight, my dear friend.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I thought I was pretty conservative at the start of the lap, but yeah, came together.
Yeah, that was your 9/10ths better than anyone else so far. And as you've probably seen, the war of attrition happening here. One of 4 lap times being validated, but you seemed like you were still pushing to the limit. I guess there's a little bit of inter-team rivalry happening here tonight.
Pretty much I was very conservative through the chicane. I think there was probably 3 or 4 tenths on the table at the chicane, but other than that I was pushing flat out. So, I can't invalidate the lap anywhere else really. So yeah, tagged the wall coming out of 8, so that was a bit scary, but no suspension damage, so I got away with it.
No, very well done and a beautiful tidy lap. Good luck in the race for you and Project 4.
Cheers, guys.
Well done.
All right, it's the time of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to our... Oh, he's just missed the pit entry there as well, which we've got on film. It's the man in command here, ladies and gentlemen. He was the fastest during the week. It is Alex McKuen. He's your number 1 for Project 4. His qualifying time was the 1:16.819. Let's see if he can get anywhere near that. He's the last man to go here. The track is warm. His tyres are warm. I'm sure his whole body's warm at the moment, but he chips it in to turn 1 through the chicane, and nice and conservative, as we've seen. Very smart driver, and that looks pretty quick as well. He didn't really take too much of a risk there either, but gee whiz, he's smooth through this section here as well. Just takes it a little bit conservatively on the entry, but he knows where he's quick, and he knows at worst he can probably only become maybe 5th if he keeps this car on the track. Nice and, look at that. Nice and balanced through turn 7. He is flying, ladies and gentlemen. Just looking at the sector times at the moment. He's down by 1/10 on Nick Mello at the moment in the first sector. So he's got some work to do, ladies and gents, if he wants to claim this pole position here in the Enduro here at Adelaide. Gets on the brakes. Whoa, boy, that's some braking pressure. A little bit sideways on the entry there to turn 9, but he gathers it up nicely. We're going to just, we're patiently awaiting the sector times here in Sector 2. It is, ladies and gentlemen, as he exits, final, he's purple in the second. Here we go, ladies and gents. This is on now. It's anyone's game. It's all about this final turn, and if he can get the traction down, can he put it on pole here at Adelaide Street Circuit for the first time for our 2-hour Enduro? Alex McKuen accelerating to the line. It is a 1:17.9. That's pole position.
Whoa, what a lap there from Alex McKuen. That is incredible stuff. Not even a 1/10 of a second between him and his teammate there. Oh, wow, we are on the absolute tenterhooks there for the whole lap. Alex McKuen, T9, you would have absolutely crapped your dax there, a bit of oversteer, but wow, mate, that is P1 for the 2-hour Enduro. Not even anyone else can think of a better place to start. Congratulations. Tell us how you felt.
Under a lot of pressure, I think. Turn 1's definitely pretty scary with those track limits, so I just had to make sure it was valid, and then from that point onwards, just make it count.
Yeah, you can see on the sector timings you were definitely taking the conservative route through the first sector, but then in sectors 2 and 3 popped 2 purple sectors in, which really made the difference and put that 10th on your teammate. But a Project 4 lockout of the front row of the grid, that must feel good.
Yeah, that's the best place that we want to be in right now, so yeah, pretty good.
Well done to yourself there, Alex McKuen. We cannot wait to see what tonight is installed. I know you are quick on the lap around the Adelaide Street Circuit, but how are you going to fare up in the race? It's only one to know at the moment. We'll only see when the checkered flag is waved at the end of it. But well done, mate. Project 4 lockout. All the best to you and Nick Mallow tonight.
Cheers, guys.
Holy, what a top 10 shootout. That's the first one for this season here. Season 12, I think, here at AK Racing in the V8 Supercars. You don't get much better action here. That it started off a bit sullied, I suppose. There was a lot of people just getting a bit too overzealous with that first chicane. But I tell you what, when it came down to the business end of things, it was as tight as you want it.
Well, that T1 and 2, ladies and gentlemen, is as hairy as a gorilla's back, I reckon. Hey. And it's going to be very, very challenging to navigate that in the race coming our way shortly, Chris Munro. But with a Project 4 lockout, if that team there does not make any errors for the night, I'm going to think that they're going to be very, very hard to beat at this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. With the front row lockout, that just gives them so many options for the race when it comes to strategy as well. And I'm sure those guys have done their sums and they've got their strategy plans worked out because I've got a feeling there might be a few safety cars tonight as well. So maybe a few cats thrown amongst the proverbial pigeons.
Yeah, exactly right. I can't wait. It's going to be all on like Donkey Kong here, ladies and gentlemen, for Sensational TV and AK Racing. We have got 2 hours of racing coming your way, non-stop action here. Safety cars or not, the 2-hour timer will be ticking down. Doesn't matter what happens here. And we will be right back here at Sensational TV, ladies and gentlemen, for that. So don't go anywhere. Go and fill up your drinks. Get comfortable in that couch. Fire up the Canara or do whatever you need to do. Just whack the central heating on and make sure you are set in for the night here at Sensational TV. Zach O'Reilly and Chris Munro are going to be calling the action and we will be back with you here in just a hot second.
I guess it's in your head. Never going to live. Never going to care. I guess my life been stolen. Fucking tear out my hair. I can feel your glue on the back of my neck. I couldn't breathe. Suddenly choking, losing my mind. Now I'm like being stolen. I'm taking my life. Like I feel broken. Last night, no. Last night.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready and fired up here for Sensational TV's 2-hour injury. So I've got the hands rubbed together on it. So, I'll give it So look out, ladies and gentlemen. When Chris, I'm telling you, with 2 hours, and I reckon that we're going to be on like Donkey Kong here for the rest of the stream. And we'll see exactly what happens there for everyone else. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. We are just back on track at the moment. We're having a few technical difficulties there with the studio simulcast. But I tell you what, we've got 3 minutes to go till we have our 2-hour enduro, and I'm excited. I don't know about everyone else there. Pix Productions there in the chat saying turn 1 should be interesting. I'd say so. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be. Well, who knows what it's going to be? Are we going to get through clean? Are we not? It's anyone's call here, Zachariah.
Well, yeah, you're spot on, Chris. I reckon with all the turn 1 shenanigans, I think we're going to be a little bit cautious through turn 1. I hope we've said that in the drivers' briefing, but in the grand scheme of things, it's sim racing, and we don't have anyone to put any sundry on or bets. We're not putting houses on anything, and jeez, there could be anyone's game in turn 1. I'm scared, but let's hopefully we get through turn 1 very, very well.
Yeah, we might go through the rest of the grid as well. From 11th down, we've got Jack Ferguson with Clayton Pine in behind him. Those guys had, Jack Ferguson was in the top 10 all week and just got pipped at the end, but I think it was Matt Cotter forcing himself into the top 10. Clayton Pine there in 12. With Barton, McFadden, Eckert, Garrick, Fitness, Marshall and Schmerl making out your top 20 with Price, Nielsen, O'Connor, Elliott, Hanley, Lola Kano, Cohen Tam. A few guys that haven't turned up in the server yet. With Trickleback, Cosmerikas, Jesse Marshall, Hayden Cook, Nielsen, the other Nielsen, Waters, Vanacek, Duff, Brown, O'Brien. There's so many drivers here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Cook, Park, Rick, Zach and Bing Adams bringing up your rear with Tony DeLuca just making his way into the server as well. We didn't see any kind of qualifying out of him, but I tell you what, at the back might be the place to be, Zach.
Yeah, it could be, especially with all the carnage in front. It might be one of those situations where that the people who are starting from 30th and beyond, all the way back to 40-odd, get through and gain probably about 5-10 positions off the start. But will there be a safety car off the start? That's the biggest thing. How many cars do we need to Osama bin Laden it into T1 to make a safety car come out? I don't know. But it's anyone's game here. With only 45 seconds to go before race, it's going to be exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah, if anything, we are guaranteed excitement here at Sensational TV. We've got the 2 Project 4 boys at the front, and both of those guys, I don't think they're going to be giving an inch here either. Both of them probably want to lead. Nick Mello has maybe what would you call that? Maybe a 10 centimetre disadvantage on the inside, but that's where you want to be. You want to be on the inside. Tell you what, Where else do you want to be here on a Sunday night here at Sensational TV? We've got the lights up. The adrenaline's up. The revs are starting to climb as well. We are set and ready for a race start. We got lights on. We are going to get back to the track. We got lights out, ladies and gentlemen, and Nick Mello's got an absolutely a bit of a tardy start there. Alex McKuen was off the inside, I should say, so he will lead into turn 1 with Nick Mello in sundry behind him. I'm starting to take Zach isms as well. That's the first time I've said in sundry, and that will be the last as well as they climb up towards turn 3. It looks like everyone's got out fairly unscathed, but there's O'Connor around in the Nissan, collected by Brandon Pierce as well. Oh, there's a bit of tomfoolery happening down the back of the pack, but we will go to the front where Alex McKuen is in the lead with Nick Mello following him. Andrew Ferguson up into 4th with Lachlan Grant behind him. Matt Cotter just sitting pretty in 5th, clashing across the gutters there at turn 7, and you see this beautiful field come streaming down towards turn 8. Look at that battle pack. There is angry cars there. We've got Jesse Marshall, Harley Marshall, Burby, Russley got shuffled down the pack there as well. So he's sitting in 8th at the moment. And maybe we might have a safety car. It looks as if people are travelling a bit slower than I thought. What do you think is happening here, Zach O'Reilly?
Oh, I don't know what's going on here, Mr. Munro. It's looking all a bit hairy here, but it seems the front guys are going full pelt, so I'm not too sure what we're seeing. But there is carnage at the back, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd. They're all trying to get themselves around the corner here, and it's not happening at all. We've got Scotty Garrick, who is stopped on the inside of the track. Will he get it turned around? He's waiting for everyone to go past him at the moment. I don't think we've got a safety car. James Claypole is at full speed at the moment and taking it on over turn 1 and 2 there. Very well done. Stephen Marsden as well is there, so I think it's all balls to the wall action here. We've got a fair bit of battling going on everywhere. Alex McKuen, though, however, has come into the pits, and he is out. He is out of the race already, ladies and gentlemen. And Alex McKuen, pole position, is in the pits with terminal damage, I would have to say. And that is not the way you want to start a 2-hour race.
Yeah, what's going on? There's a fair few cars in the pits at the moment. I think that maybe we've seen a few little accidents there out on the track. I'm trying to see if it's a server-related issue that we've got a few drivers leaving the server, but it seems to be play on at the moment, and Nick Mello is 2.5 seconds clear of James Claypole, with Stephen Marsden, who is on your screen at the moment, in third. Lachlan Grant and Matt Cotter making up your top 5. Looking down the order, there's a battle here with Clayton Pine and Dylan Barton, but I think the safety car has been called because these guys are doing a little bit of weaving. Whether that's intentional or not, no, it's not, because there goes Riley Price around the outside of Clayton Pine, who was just warming his tyres up, maybe just to try and get those softs up to temperature. What is going on here? It's an absolute circus at the moment.
Oh my God, talk about circus. We've got Cirque du Soleil over here. Everything's happening here. We don't know what's going on. Clowns around. Clayton Pine's coming into the pits early already. Yeah. We've got cars peeling in. I think at the moment it looks like we've got maybe our top 10 are settled, but everywhere else beyond them is just everywhere at the moment. I can't pick what's going on at the moment. Yeah. Massive movers in the field. Bill Kosmarikis is in 17th position after, I reckon, starting about 30th. And he seems to be one of the big movers and shakers out of the grid so far. And as you said, Chris Munro, with all the carnage involved, he got through cleanly, did Nick Mello, and Project 4 is a good 2 seconds out in front of the Iron Rod.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's made up a few tenths in that final time around. We're looking back here at Bill Kosmarikis. He's got Adam Elliott. Sorry, not Adam Elliott. What's his first name? Andre Elliott. Sorry. Adam Elliott plays for the Newcastle Knights, ladies and gentlemen, in the number 13. But so be it. Bill Kosmarikis under pressure from Andre Elliott at the moment as they come down to turn 8. Oh, look, he gets through there nicely. Tell you what, I can't understand what is going on at the moment. People are going slow. There's a car stopped on the side of the road. That's Hughes. That looks to be terminal damage there for Hughes as well. He is out of the race. Geez, that's bad luck for Hughes. He was there in the top 10 as well.
I don't think it's Hughesy.
Wasn't it? It might have been Tricklebank.
No, Tricklebank.
His teammate. Both of those guys in the same livery. So hard to tell the difference there. But Matt Cotter has made his way up behind Lachlan Grant here, and this is the battle for the podium. And we've still got an hour and 55 to go, Zach O'Reilly.
Oh, I'll tell you what, it's all on a Donkey Kong here at the start at the front of the grid. Not even a second gapping between first to fourth. That is an angry battle pack at this moment. But I think the safety car's been called here, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely has, and that is what we get with a field of absolute dead set carnage. And with all of that, it's now back to square one. Ian O'Brien's just got a drive-through for speeding in the pit lane as well, so he will not be able to serve this drive-through penalty under the safety car. He's going to have to wait his turn, and that is shocking for him, even though he is a fair way down the grid at the moment. But with a safety car about to come out on the circuit with only about 2 and 3 laps completed, it's basically what we predicted here in the chat. I would think that it would last about 5 laps for a safety car at least, but here we are. And Nick Mello leading the field. James Claypole in second. Lachlan Grant in third. Matt Cotter in fourth. Bernie Russley in fifth as well, with Andrew Ferguson and Jack Ferguson, the father-son duo, in 6th and 7th at the moment, backing up that top 10. That is fantastic to see. Harley Marshall, Fabian Fitness and Dylan Barton round out your top 10 at the moment.
great start from Jack Ferguson. He was down in, I think, 11th place. He just missed out on the top 10. So he has snuck his way in, and I'll tell you what, the car behind him as well, Harley Marshall, has made up a number of positions to get where he is. So is Fitness, and so is Barton. So the real losers there, looking down the field, Stephen Marsden's dropped down a few. Nathan Hughes, obviously, down in 16th. He's shit the bed there as well at the start. Yeah. And obviously, where's McKuen? He pitted on the first lap, Zach. I wonder what is going on. I saw so many cars peeling in on that first lap to change tyres or something, or serve a drive-through. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I reckon it would have to be damage, Chris, for Alex to come in straight away like that, unless it was some sort of incident that we did not see at the start, or he's managed to, I don't know, I really don't know, but without further ado, he is in 38th and dead last, so keep an eye out on him, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over until the fat lady sings here at Sensational TV, as we always say, because Alex McKuen will be making his way through the field with an hour and 52 minutes under safety car at the moment. You've still got plenty of time. I'll give you the hot tip.
Yeah, he'll be coming out of the pits with a nice new set of Supersoft tyres to carve through the field, I'm sure. Just try and make up as many positions and take that track position while you can, and then worry about getting onto those long stint soft tyres later on in the race, perhaps. But geez, I tell you what, it's been action-packed so far, and you wouldn't expect any less from this circuit either. Those walls are close, and you don't really expect it until you're going three wide with two other V8 supercars around any of these corners, that it all gets a little bit too full on. And as we saw at the start of that race, even these guys, who are some of the best drivers in the country, mind you, still making it difficult for themselves. And speaking of which, there's a car trying to pass up the inside of of turn 8 there as the field goes streaking through. That's one of the Rangiart cars getting unlapped at the moment. But gee whiz, Nick Mello does head off the field at the moment with James Claypole up to second position. Lachlan Grant, one of the other survivors of the top 10 shootout, there in third position with Matt Cotter in tow. Bertie Russley making out your top 5. I wonder when we're going to go racing again. Maybe it will be this lap or the next.
Maybe this lap, Chris. We've got a safety car not on track, so it is a virtual safety car period, so all race directors will be in the ears of all these drivers saying ready to go when you are ready to accelerate. And you can tell here, I think we're getting a bit angry here, Chris Munro. We're into the final turn. I think we're about to go racing here. Nick Mello is about to take off, and he is gone. He has skipped away full throttle down the front straightaway. Gapped James Claypole there by an absolute ball terror of an amount, and he will navigate turn 1. Will Nick Mello, very, very good. Everyone else behind him, Lachlan Grant, Matt Cotter, do exactly the same thing. It is fantastic to see here. But Nick Mello with the initial jump here, coming into lap 5 of this race. 1 hour and 50 seconds. 1 hour, 50 minutes and 47 seconds to go here. It's all on like Donkey Kong. Claypole, he's trying to hand the back here of Nick Mello, trying to not let him get away into a 2-second gap that he did have before the safety car came out. But I'll tell you what, Lachlan Grant and Matt Cotter will be coming together at some stage, and those two are as hard a races as each other. I'll give you the hot tip, Chris Munro. We're going to see anything happen here between those two, so keep your eyes peeled. With the field bunched up here, anything can happen. We might see some people slapping turn 8 wall at the moment, but I'm not sure. We all sort of get through cleanly at this point in time. Seems to be good stuff here, and it's on for the top 10 at the moment.
Oh, you could say that again, Zacko. Looking back at the top 10, this is literally the battle to get into the top 10. It's Stephen Marsden sliding down the inside of turn 9 on Dylan Barton and gets that job done. Really nice overtake there from Stephen Marsden, and he can set his eyes forward now and trying to build that little gap up there. He's got a nice little bit of clear road in front of him to Fabian Fitness up the street, who has also made his way into 9th position. So great racing from those guys to avoid all the bullshit at the start and just get some clean laps in now and try and make hay while the sun shines. So looking down again, that's Chris Eckert and Brandon Smell trading places down the front straight, but Chris Eckert will have the best of it there into turn 1 in the VIP Pets Food entry with Brandon Spurl with AC Karting in the Volvo. There's a car stopped on the inside of the road. That's Rangiart. Geez, I didn't catch which one it was. There are 4 Rangiart cars out on the track at the moment, ladies and gents, so that could have been any of them. But looking back here, Caleb O'Connor is getting a bit sideways. He hits the wall there. Geez, that's a caution coming out of turn 3. Oh, that's dangerous stuff. He takes out Meals on Wheels as well. That's one of the Cook boys. Oh, geez, that's he'll be entering to the stewards as well, I think, for that dodgy re-entry.
I'll tell you what, that is shocking stuff, but it's what you get in a street circuit, ladies and gentlemen. It's you've got to be on your toes with avoidance. But I'll tell you what, Chris Munro, the biggest loser out of all of this is Mr. Brandon Pearce, stuck down in 29th position, if you don't mind. After being in the top 10 shootout, he will be absolutely spewing at this moment, but knows that there's a long race ahead. 29th place, he has got some work to do because Alex McKuen, just in front of him, is making his way through the field into 25th now. From 38th position was Alex McKuen 2 laps ago into 25th. Don't you mind about that. 13 places in 2 laps. He is on an absolute charge at the moment, is Alex McKuen. I can't wait to see where this guy finishes.
What an animal. We're going to keep an eye on these guys too. They're both up together. There's Alex McKuen, and see if he can pull Pearce through the pack as well. But we're just going to ride on board with Alex McKuen for the time being. He's got a couple of cars in front of him. That's Jesse Marshall and Dave Lolacano. Look at the pace difference through turn 1 and 2. He's just going to send it. Which way does he want? It doesn't matter. He's coming through, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not. Here goes Alex McKuen up into 24th position. And I'll tell you what, by the lap's end, he will be a bit further up the chain as well. It's just something tells me he's got his red eyes in, and he is ready for an absolute belter of a race here. He's got his overtaken boots on.
Oh, absolutely. Have a look at him here. He's even got a good run here on Dave Lolacano as well. He is up and about, is Alex McKuen. That is sensational stuff. Straight past him on the first section of the back straightaway into turn 8. All the cars are on the brakes in front of him. Alex McKuen holds that flat through there, so he knows where the strength is. He's got massive braking advantage there. He's going to take Clayton Waters. Done. That is it. Now all he's got in front of him is the Pine Cone himself. Clayton Pine. Oh, a bit of server lag there for Mr. McKuen. Just gets it done there over the point. And Fabian Fitness somehow is falling down the field at this point in time, but Alex McKuen is done and dusted into that position 21. Holy cow, this is incredible.
He's gaining positions like Zach O'Reilly gains kilos in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. Look at him go. He's bulking up here on lap 8 of our 2-hour enduro here at Sensational TV for AK Racing, and maybe just takes a little bit of liberty there with the track limits around turn 1, but we'll check back with him because Brandon Schmerl is right up behind Dylan Barton here for the battle for the top 10, and I tell you what, geez, he's giving him a fair bit of curry as well. The Puntronas Gold Chrome VF gets the better of the exits there out of turn 7, so they're going to shuffle off down towards turn 8, or the death zone that I like to call it there, or Matt Cotter corner we're going to call it for the rest of the night, I suppose. He was the one to give it the full beans there in the top 10 shootout. But Brandon Schmerl for AC Karting, should I say, just lets Fabian Fitness just slide up the inside there as well without too many answers for that one.
Yeah, Fabian Fitness was inside the top 10 about a lap ago, ladies and gentlemen, and he dropped down the field to about 12th position, right behind this man that was on screen, Brandon Schmerl. So a bit of an unforced error there, I would say, but looks like we've got a couple of drivers peeling into the pits at this moment. Fabian Fitness, though, however, is looking pretty racy here. He said he was about top 10 pace in the qualifying. Where is that going to put him in the grand scheme of things? We'll never know, but a big shout out in the chat to all of our mums and dads out there. We've got Ronald Marshall in there for the Marshall Brothers Racing, watching his 2 sons go along. We've got Heather Hughes there for Nathan Hughes as well. And then we've got Scotty McKuen cheering on his boy to do an absolute barnstormer of appeal through the field to maybe find himself within a podium by the end of the race here at the moment. So thank you to all of our viewers at the moment. Send your predictions through as well, because this is a long race, 1 hour and 45 minutes to go. Anything can happen here for anyone in Sundry here. Will Brandon Pearce be able to make his way through the field back into that top 10? Will Jack Ferguson in top 8 keep himself within that at the moment? Because his old man, don't you worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We've got an old man battle versus young son in the Ferguson department. Will they come together at some stage? Anything's going to happen. Keep your eyes forward and watch the stream. It's going to be incredible. Luke Newing, our old counterpart here in the V8s, Spewing Newing, has come through with a prediction. Matthew Cotter for the win, Mallow and Grant in your top 3. So let's keep that one in note, Chris Munro. See if Spewing Newing does the magician trick and gets through with his predictions.
Yeah, the Magic Man. He's been known for a bit of that sort of stuff in the past. I'll tell you what, Matt Cotter just gets better as the race goes on, as we've seen in the last round, and from the years of racing him in the past. Every lap is a practice lap, and he tries to push it to the limit every single time. So if he can keep it off the wall, Matt Cotter is certainly a danger in any race that he is partaking in. But I'll tell you what, 10 laps in, and there's still battles all up and down the field, which I'm trying to keep one eye on all of them, but there's just nowhere to look. I think the closest one on track right now is actually our man Matt Cotter. He is behind the iron rod, Mr. James Claypole himself. And there's Nathan Hughes or a Tricklebank around there. Must be Tricklebank. A lap down, but we're going to ride on board with Cotter and see where he can try and slide that ZB up past the blue badge of the Mr. James Claypole in front of him, down into turn 14 now. There's a bee's dick between them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, the iron rod versus the torpedo, I think the iron rod is the one that cannons the torpedo out. So they're in the reverse position at the moment. But I'll tell you what, James Claypole's doing an excellent job here, Chris Munro, of keeping Matt Cotter behind him for this amount of time that he has been under pressure from the torpedo himself. So credit to James Claypole here at this moment to keep it where it is in second place. That is Pressure Point Motors. I know what it's like. You know what it's like to have Matt Cotter behind you or in front of you. Don't you worry about that. It is literally hair-raising stuff. Your back of your neck starts to get a bit prickly when you see a grey ZB behind you. But nonetheless, James Claypole's doing an excellent job so far here. What has happened, Chris Munro?
We've got safety car lights out on track for our safety car app, but it doesn't look like anyone's slowing down at the moment. So maybe just OSRW doing some funny things at the moment. But we'll just wait for any sort of reaction from the drivers on track before I call that and before I just disable this app altogether. That's Jim Park, who's parked it in the wall there in the background. It looks as if these guys are still going hell for leather. We're going to check on the leader. He is coming into the pits. I think we do have a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. There has been a safety car called. Nick Mello peels into the pits. James Claypole peels into the pits. Matt Cotter doing an overtake into the pits. Did anyone see that? That's absolutely outrageous. I've never seen anything like that. Well, actually, that takes me back to the Formula One. I think it was Sebastian Vettel who did something similar to one of the Mercedes cars back a long time ago. Holy moly. Who's in the lead of this race? I've got no idea. I think it's Bernie Rusley.
Rusley's in the lead of this race, and I'm not sure what's going on because he is still absolutely flogging it. Yeah. So I don't think the safety car's out on track, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is going to be one of those situations where it's a strategy call because Bernie Rusley is on softs. So is Nick Mello as well, and Matt Cotter now coming out of the pits onto the soft. So Bernie Rusley's gone for the soft option early, but it actually looks like he's slowing down at the moment in Bernie Rusley. It's a bit hard to tell here, Chris Munro. But yes, I think the safety car is out. So this is a strategical call for Bernie Rusley nonetheless. 12 laps in on those soft tyres. I think they've got about 24, 25 odd laps and maybe 28 at a stretch, Chris Munro, from the old feedback in the server, from what I've heard, inside information. Not going to tell you who it's from, Stephen Marsden. But we could see what happens there with everyone. But Bernie Rusley is in control of the race with the safety car out, or virtual safety car out on track at this point in time. So we'll see where it sits with everyone in sundry. But our top 10 are all on soft tyres, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That is a strategic masterclass for everyone in sundry. It's going to be a battle of who can massage those tyres to the longest set of laps, because with an hour and 40 minutes, probably an hour and 37 minutes, I predict, before we get back racing again. Those soft tyres will probably be, I reckon, by about an hour and 10, be about dead as a nail. So we'll see what happens here. But with two safety car periods already within 20 minutes of racing, Chris Munro, that's a bit ridiculous. At this rate, we're going to have about 8 per the 9.
Yeah, well, that's fine with me, and I'm sure that's fine with all the viewers at home because safety car restarts just something else in the entertainment stakes. And I tell you what, with the top 10... Oh, yeah, look at that. Top 11 now, all on soft tyres. Who's the first runner on the Supers? It's Junior Ferguson there in 12th on the Super Softs. Whether he has just come in for those or not, I don't think it matters. I think he will still have the pace advantage and certainly the stopping power to send it up the inside down there at turn 9 on a few of these cars in front of him, and maybe tell you what, he can see his old man up there. He's only 3 positions in front. Is old senior Fergo there in the number 31 Volvo. It's good to see the Volvo boys instead here. I in the real world almost reversed into a Volvo driven by Andrew Ferguson during the week.
Just chucking himself under the bus there brilliantly is the Munro man himself. Yeah. He decided to just not look in both sides of the mirrors as he was reversing the Kia out of the driveway, and the Volvo was coming. Hyundai, sorry, the Hyundai, same bloody company. Yeah. And decided to pull out in front of a Swedish mafia member in Andrew Ferguson. And it was not received well on the server, I'll give you the hot tip. But nonetheless, no one came out with a insurance debt to pay. So we're all ready to go here at this point in time. Munro is doing a fantastic job on and off circuit, driving the stream, as we say at this point in time. I'm just sitting here as a leper and trying to focus on everywhere else so we can get a beautiful view here of the V8 Supercars travelling around here at Adelaide. But I'm excited. Safety car period surely is going to end soon, Chris Munro, so we can get back racing. And I reckon here at this point in time, with a couple of predictions in chat, we've even got Jack Fergo for a top 6 ahead of Senior Ferguson for a bit of spiciness in the chat, and then Ronald Marshall telling us that we are in for a bit of pit road busyness.
I tell you what, if Junior Fergo tops Senior Fergo, I reckon there'll be a little letter poked under the bedroom door, and that will be the weekly rent.
He'll be singing for his son.
Yeah, now in force.
And bloody send rent as well.
Yeah, he's, sorry, Jack. Now you're at that age, you're going to have to start paying rent to me and your mother. So it's probably best for Jack just to sit behind the old man just for a couple more seasons until he can make his own way around. Free rent is a good rent for anyone. I'll give you the hot tip. But I think we're going to go around one more time, ladies and gentlemen, before we sort out. Yeah, before we sort out all these guys who are a lap down, unfortunately. But there is 40 odd cars in the server at the moment. I'll give you an actual number of how many cars we've got. 40 cars in the server at the moment. So as you can tell, it's very busy out there on the asphalt. Lachlan Grant doing a few little weaving techniques to keep those tyres warm, and with the soft tyre, it does take a fair bit to keep those things warm. So I guess whoever's got those things in the best temperature window and pressure window will fare better off the start. And these restarts are going to be spicy. I've got a feeling, as the great man says, one safety car brings another. So we might be installed for just one of those safety car nights, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah. I reckon 100% right, Chris, and we just saw the notification come up on the screen of the safety car is pitting this lap, so it is well and truly going to be out of the way here. Bernie Rullsey in the not right VF Commodore is going to be leading the way through T1. Will he make it a lap without the hounding Nick Mallow behind him, putting all that pressure? At the moment, it's a hold on 1, 2, 3 here, with the first Ford in 4th and James Claypole. First Volvo in 6th of Stephen Marsden. And I'll tell you what, I don't know why, but there is not a Nissan in sight. There is only a Merc in sight. Well done to Mr. Windscreen himself, O'Brien, sitting in 24th position. But it's a battle for the blue, the red and the purple at the moment for the Swedes, the Australians and the Americans here for Holden, Ford and Volvo. But let's see where Bernie Rullsey loves to put it. We'll see if he's very good at a restart. He was a member of another Discord that defuncted and league, so he's come across to the better league here at AK Racing and find himself here in Sensational TV broadcast to all the world. Where are we going to go? Oh, a bit of oversteer there from Bernie Rullsey. It's go green. Luckily that Nick Mallow has not gained any advantage there off the start, but now Bernie Rullsey's going to be under all sorts of pressure here coming into T1. They both navigate it nicely there. Everyone's through there cleanly. That is sensational stuff there from both of them in sundry. Matt Cotter, though, however, is just as close behind Nick Mallow to Bernie Rullsey as Nick Mallow is to Rullsey, and they navigate T4, very, very well there. Here we go into T5. What's going to happen here? No one. Just sort of single file stuff here. And James Claypole is the big cork in the bottle here because he's got Barton behind him, Stephen Marsden, Nathan Hughes as well. and then Lachlan Grant in 8th, Ferguson in 9th, Harley Marshall in 10th, but Bernie Rullsey in control of the race here, ladies and gentlemen. That is sensational stuff here. He's going to lead the first half of the lap here, coming into Matt Cotter corner. Will we see a send and defend motorsport style exit? No, he won't, because Nick Mallow nearly brushes the wall. Matt Cotter's avoided the wall himself just, though, by the way. He's going for a send here, Matt Cotter. He's going to go down the inside of Nick Mallow, taking the P2 position. That is an absolute send. That is pass of the night here, ladies and gentlemen. But is he going to get it done? He's not, because Nick Mallow's gone across the switchback. Now Matt Cotter's gone over the inside of the grass trying to get the job done. Oh, that was a send and a half there from Matt Cotter, living up to his name, that's for sure, in the team department. That was some incredible stuff here, but the braking difference between Matt Cotter and Nick Mallow is absolutely incredible. Old VF versus New ZB. Chris Munro, what an opening lap up the safety car.
That's unreal. The boys giving it all, what do you call it? Sticking it fat there on the first lap of the restart, and keep an eye on those boys. But I want to just focus my attention down to the pole position man, Alex McKuen, who's probably made about 5 positions in that first opening lap there off the restart. He's on a fresh set of super softs, mind you, so he is just picking off cars left, right and centre. Here he's got Chris Eckert in his sides, and I think he'll make this job done in the next couple of turns. He's just going to go for it here at turn 4. Oh, jeez. He's turned him around. Oh, that's terrible stuff there. Alex McKuen was not going to be happy with that result, but he does the correct thing here at AK Racing and redresses the position. So it's play on there for these guys. Jason McFadden is right up behind him too, just waiting for a little bit more of that action, maybe a little bit more mistakes to come from maybe a desperate Alex McKuen to just try and make up as many places as possible. Keep in mind, there's still 92 minutes to go in this race, so he doesn't have to go too hard. I think this game will be won, or this race will be done and won by... Jeez, I can't even speak. I can't speak. This will be done by the strategy calls here around the supercar, around the safety cars, which I'm sure there will be more to come.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to see a couple more, I reckon, here at Sensational TV AK Racing. But don't you worry, ladies and gentlemen, the racing in between that is all balls to wall. Alex McKuen is trying to get 16th place here off Clayton Pine, so we'll flick to him. But the old switchback move is not on here. Too wide into turn 1. That's never going to work. Alex McKuen is racing angry. His father, Scotty McKuen, predicted that in the chat, and he's definitely doing that at the moment. You've got to keep in mind, Alex, that you've got an hour and 31 minutes to go. As Chris just said before, 91 and a half minutes left, and plenty of time to get yourself through the field. But Bernie Rullsey, Chris Munro, is doing a very good job because Nick Mallow's fallen back a position. Matt Cotter's got the job done on him in the meantime and has found himself in second place. Matt Cotter now 3 and a bit tenths here away from Bernie Rullsey. Now just right on the rear bumper of that VF. ZB versus VF. Whoa. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for the lead of the race here. Matt Cotter is all over the back of Bernie Rullsey's rear end like a fly to a piece of poo and pounding him here for the race lead here at the moment. Coming into turn 13. Here's Matt Cotter going to send it down the inside. We'll find out in just about a second. He's too far back at the moment, but it won't hinder any opportunity that Matt Cotter does. Right on the rear bumper there. Nearly gives him a love tap. That will hamper him on the exit. Bernie Rullsey has survived for another 3 laps here, leading the race. Absolutely sensational stuff here from Bernie.
Yeah, great stuff. We're gonna switch back down the order here because Brandon Pierce has just made up a position as well on Fabian Fitness. So Brandon Pierce having a bit of bad luck early in this race and finds himself in 11th position, ladies and gentlemen. So the fight is not over for this wild-coloured FGX, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a bit of free air in front of him as well. Andrew Ferguson is up behind here, up in front of him, should I say. So eyes forward to the Volvo in front, and that's where Brandon Pierce's attention is focused at the moment. But oh, look at this. The battle for the lead is on. Matt Cotter is right up under the near wheel. Almost gave him a little bit of a touch into turn 8. Does the wise thing there and just backing out of it, but leaves himself vulnerable. Nick Mellow's having a little look around the outside. That's not going to go. Looks for the switch back down into turn 9, but that's not going to go either. James Claypole is now looking at these 3 guys battling and says, "Thank you very much. I'll join the party too if I'm invited." And I'll tell you what, if they keep battling, he will be invited with a gold bow on it.
Well, Don't worry about the gold bow. Here comes Matt Cotter, just up the inside, nearly getting the job done again there on Bernie Rullsey. But yeah, James Claypole is looking at this, licking his chops at the moment, Chris Munro. I'll tell you what, the barbecue's on, the steaks are looking good, medium rare if you don't mind, and the snags and the bread are getting sourced out here for James Claypole. He's ready to get going and absolutely loving it at this point in time, because he knows that these three guys are either going to come together, someone's going to lose out big time, and that 7, 8, 9 tenths that he's got between the two of them is going to diminish to about basically even if anything happens between the front three here at the moment. That is a spicy cork in the bottle there. I'll tell you what, Bernie Rullsey at the moment is shaking in his boots, and there is some carbon monoxide, or what do you call, what is in the fizzy drinks? Is that carbonated air?
I think it's...
And that is about to burst at this point in time for Bernie Rullsey and Nick Mello too, because Matt Cotter's on the pressure point at the moment. Matt Cotter, he's under pressure for Nick Mello. Nick Mello thinks wisely of it here, coming into the deep braking zone into turn 9. Just gets it stopped, Nick Mello there. Matt Cotter survives. Bernie Rullsey sort of galloping a little bit away here because Matt Cotter's on the defensive at the moment from Nick Mello. So what are we going to see? It's so interesting though, Chris, and the viewers at home, to see the strengths and the weaknesses per the track here of these three drivers. Bernie Rullsey is absolutely sensational around the back half of the circuit. Then when it comes to T1 and 2, he's just that little bit off, but manages to keep it in the staircase section, whereas Matt Cotter is fast through the staircase and then on to T8, 9, and then also into 2 and 10. So awesome stuff here. This is cracking battling. No driver is giving each other an inch.
This is what you want to see here in, with an hour and 27 to go. This is what you want to see. The top 4 nose to tail here in AK Racing for, that's a terrible view. But we're going to ride on board with Matt Cotter, because I'll tell you what, Bernie Rullsey seems like he's doing an absolute fantastic job here. And I don't think he's too perturbed by these guys putting the noses out into the braking zones at all. And speaking from experience, I've raced against Bernie Rullsey in the past, and he's a contender. I said this in round 1. The not right racing, Mikey, please, no, this is not right. These guys are absolute contenders here for the team championship. If both guys turn out to be here on time and race every week, I'll tell you what, they're going to be one of the teams to beat coming towards the end of the season. And he's doing a great job here, holding off Matt Cotter, and Nick Mello's just there, maybe just taking the pressure off, or at least taking the blowtorch off Matt Cotter. That's Rick Zack, and that's collected Matt Cotter, and that's promoted Nick Mello and almost James Claypole. These guys are, there goes Claypole up into 3rd position. That is very unfortunate there for Matt Cotter.
Oh, that you couldn't script that any worse for Matt Cotter. That was some trial and tribulation motors there for Matt Cotter, with an errant Nismo Nissan just sitting perfectly in the apex of the final corner turn around. You just can't predict that anywhere in the race. Unfortunately for Matt Cotter, he's got an hour and 26 to go, so don't stress too much. But that is a positional change there from 2nd to 4th in a corner for Matt Cotter, with the lap traffic car sitting in the middle where he wanted to go to Matt Cotter. But nonetheless, it's racing on here. But as you said, Chris Munro, fantastic to see the Rullsey boy out in front and commanding this track at this point in time. Now he's got Nick Mello, who's probably been held up a little bit there from Matt Cotter. He's going for a move here under brakes. This is the lap marker of Alex McKuen. I think it is in front of them.
No.
Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, I completely got that wrong.
But
no, nonetheless. Oh, look at this steer there from Bernie Rullsey. And that's all. James Claypole through for the go. And Matt Cotter's got into 3rd. He's going to take 2nd as well. But Rullsey, and that is Nick Mello gone into 2nd place as well. Oh, you could not write that any worse for Bernie Rullsey, from the lead of the race into 4th place in a corner, and he's come into the pits as Bernie Rullsey too to get out of that battle. Oh, don't know what's going on here, but a positional change there nonetheless, as Bernie Rullsey's into the pits, and he will come in for a new set of tyres. We'll see what happens there, but James Claypole 1.2 seconds out in front. And Nick Mello now going to have to hunt him down, because Matt Cotter now is putting the pressure back on Nick Mello. Where is Matt Cotter going to look in front of his mirrors, or is he going to look behind to see if there's anyone behind him? Because no one is there. Stephen Barson's there. Nick Mello is under the pressure. He's got in front as a focus, and then the torpedo behind him. Oh, geez, this could be on like Donkey Kong. Are they going to follow Mr. Bernie Rullsey into the pits in the strategy call? Are they going to keep going? Who knows? But what an absolute barnstormer of a situation there for all 4 drivers, really. James Claypole, can't believe his luck. I think that's better than his first time in the sack for James Claypole, and he's found himself in P1.
Great called by Zach O'Reilly there. Show him some love in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That was fantastic. And a smart move there as well from Bernie Russley, just getting swamped in that little kerfuffle there with the top 4 just battling it out. And I think he just wants no part of that, because the longer these guys battle, that's total race time being lost. So very smart play there by Bernie Russley, just getting out of it now. He's come out on the brand new set of Supercars, so you'll see him flying up the field. And I tell you what, speaking of other guys flying up the field, I'm going to look for my man. Here he is, Alex McKuen. He's in 7th position at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Last time we saw him, he was around 20th. So that's only just a casual 13 positions made up in the last 5 minutes. Holy shit, he is absolutely flying. And I'll tell you what, he's hot under the collar. Look at that, just flying around the outside of Rick Panacek there. Wow. What can you say? This guy is on an absolute hunt. He's an animal, Alex McKuen.
Animal or not, doesn't matter. The kingdom of the land at the moment is coming towards Alex McKuen. He can see the castle in front of him with the gold crown waiting for him. And I'll tell you what, at the moment, Chris, if you look at that sector times with everyone and the gaps between himself, he is only about 12 seconds off the lead at the most already. And he was in 38th position, ladies and gentlemen, at the 2-hour mark of this race. Wow. I think he's taken the old grip.exe application off my co-commentator here, and Chris Munro, and just putting it to work here at this time in the race. But the pace difference is incredible. His last lap, ladies and gentlemen, was a 19.9, and James Claypole's in the lead was a 20.8. He is a second a lap quicker than James Claypole, who is got clear track in front of him. And Alex McKuen is doing those times with traffic, passing under brakes, and all the inhibitants that you want on the track in sundry. And I'll tell you what, James Claypole nearly just got taken out by some lap markers. But that is the pace difference, a second a lap between the two of them. Here comes Alex, though. He's going to try and take Harley Marshall here into T4. Will he get it done? There's a Pertec Falcon on the outside. Oh, that is close. That is a cigarette paper beast foreskin. An absolute animal hair between the two of those two. That was sensational car control for the both. But he's on the charges, Alex McKuen, and Harley Marshall knows it.
Yeah, Harley Marshall a little bit undercooked during the week. Didn't get a lot of time to practice and get his qualifying time into the server. But I tell you what, sitting in 6th position at the moment, he would not complain about that. I tell you what, during the week, if you told him you'd be sitting 6th position with an hour 20 to go, he'd probably take that with both hands. Oh, Alex McKuen just getting out of the way of, I think that was Lee Tricklebank, just parked on the racing line. Holy shit. But Alex McKuen braking deep into turn 9, out-braking Harley Marshall. And but I'll tell you what, Harley Marshall making a race of this right up on the rear bumper of Alex McKuen at the moment. He might even just return serve here down into turn 14, the final turn of the track. It's a tight right-hander, almost a 180-degree turn. But look at that. Harley Marshall has got plenty to give in this race. And I'll tell you what, both of these guys, if they put their heads down, they're only going to go forward in the race. That's great stuff by both of these guys. Alex McKuen as well. 5 laps ago, if you told him he'd been in lap 6, you'd say you are absolutely choking on your own hat, my friend. But look, up towards the front of the field, it's all happening again. Claypole, Mello, Cotter, separated by a matter of tenths, and it's all on with a bit of lap traffic up ahead as well.
Oh, look at this. It's a bit of lap traffic, don't you mind? There are two guys battling over a position in front of James Claypole here. His eyes and ears will be absolutely riveting at the moment. He'll be thinking, shit, where do I go? Do I go inside? Do I go outside? Do I take the racing line? That's what he's done. He's taken the racing line in. That is a Clayton Waters in front of him in a Mustang. Get out of the way, Clayton Waters, says James Claypole. He will be shouting to hell and high water, telling you to get the hell out of the way, blue flagger. And that is well done by him. He's got past him. So is Nick Mello, and Matt Cotter's just got inhabited by that too. So that has hurt Matt Cotter. But James Claypole's got another blue flag in front of him, who actually gets out of the way very nicely, if you don't mind. Yeah. Fantastic stuff there by that Mustang. Yeah, but Nick Mello and James Claypole on again. Matt Cotter is in 3rd place. He is 1.3 seconds off the back of this front two at this point in time, and he's got some breathing space between himself and Stephen Marsden behind, so he'll be only looking eyes forward at the moment, will Matt Cotter, and he gets past that blue flag Mustang very nicely. There's Matt Cotter, so it's on again here for P1, 2 and 3. An hour and 19 minutes to go. Bloody hell, you couldn't pick this in any other race.
Yeah, it's pretty tight still after 40 minutes of racing so far. We've got Claypole out in front. This is the first time, ladies and gentlemen, he has led in any AK race. As far as I know, maybe the Wednesday Cup, he's had a bit of a tingle at the front, but I'll tell you what, in the main series here in the V8 Supercars, he has come leaps and bounds in his driving techniques and his strategy play, his setup. Mate, what an absolute... I give him a little golf clap in here, because he's done an absolutely fantastic job in just keeping Nick Mello, the season bloody reigning champion, behind him for so long. And I'll tell you what, if he can just keep him there for a little bit longer, then the next round of pit stops start to come into play, and these guys can battle it out for another stint. But look at that. He is full of confidence at the moment, James Claypole. He might, I'll tell you what, if he can get in the top 3 of this race by the end, there'll be the girls will be lining up for him.
God, lining up. They're already at the door, mate. Don't worry, they're knocking already. They've already seen the hour and 18 minutes to go. They're going, that's good enough for me. And here I come, ladies and gentlemen. James Claypole is going to be taking a week off work if he can get it all done. He's going to make his way around Kono there. Oh, my goodness gracious. That has given Nick Mello an absolute invite to the party of the girls hanging out the front door of James Claypole's house. I don't know if Nick Mello's on the same page as James Claypole, but ladies, Claypole is single. The iron rod is out there and in full force at the moment. Full stick, if you don't mind. And he's giving it full stick on and off track at the moment is James Claypole. Nick Mello is giving him all sorts of pressure, and James Claypole just saying, nah, not giving in to you, son. I know where I stand. And he is hounding P1 and making a good job, as you said, Chris Munro. Great to see that we have got a battle like this here for the lead here so soon into the race, basically, and there's nothing between the top 3 at the moment. Only half a tenth each as the gaps start to tumble here. Matt Cotter is thinking of the back of Nick Mello and looking at that thing, I can have a torpedo move down there. Bit of server lag, a bit of miscommunication there between all the cars, but race on. James Claypole survives another lap, and will the iron rod be planting one at the end of this race? He currently will be in P1. Let's see if he can get the job done here and finish with a massive, massive boom.
Wouldn't you love to see it? But there's still a long time to go in this race as all 3 go clattering across the curbs there in turn 1 and 2 up towards turn 3. These guys just holding station at the moment. I don't think any of them really want to put their nose out of place and maybe risk some sort of overtake where the reward might just not be worth it. So they're happy just to sit in tow, or what would you say, nose to tail for now, and just gapping the rest of the field as Stephen Marsden is up into 4th position, though he is about 6 seconds back. So the more these guys just work together, they can build that gap to the rest of the field, and then they can squabble this out and sort out there. Whoa, that's a big hit from Mello and Cotter, both actually hitting the outside wall there in turn 8. Nick Mello going up the inside of James Claypole here. Claypole getting turned by Cotter and poshed into the wall. There goes Nick Mello. That's the lead of the race done by Nick Mello. And James Claypole and Matt Cotter just coming together there as a little bit of a sort of an afterthought of the move put down by Nick Mello. James Claypole just sort of coming to the inside. Didn't realise that Cotter was already up in that gap that he was trying to cover. And those 2 guys coming together. But I tell you what, they'll live to see another day. I'm looking on board at the moment, and there is not too much damage for the iron rod. We're just having a look at his steering column there. That's straight. So is Matt Cotter. So these guys will battle it on, and they're just going to have to watch Nick Mello just sort of ride off into the sunset for now.
Yeah, look, I think with the grand scheme of things, Chris Munro, when that damage indicator gets up in your grill and it's sitting there and showing you that you've got some aero damage, which I guarantee you Matt Cotter will have. James Claypole might have some side damage, but Cotter will definitely have some front splitter damage there. They could be playing into the games of the mind for Mr. Iron Rod and Mr. Torpedo. So we'll see where it happens there. But, Matt Cotter hit the wall again. just on the exit of T8. That dirty air, it does affect you, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone says it's not a thing in the Assetto Corsa. I guarantee you it is here on the V8 Supercars, and it is affecting Matt Cotter. But Iron Rod has gathered himself up nicely, Mr. Munro. That is some mature brainage behind the 17-year-old there of James Claypole, because Matt Cotter is flustered. He is oversteering on exit. He is trying to get that car right up the rear end of James Claypole, but Claypole has got the mental advantage here, I would say. And don't you worry about that. That 2.1 second gap is falling for the Iron Rod. He's got some race pace.
Oh, he does, yeah. He's absolutely cherry ripe for tonight's event, and it's come at a perfect time for the Monster Energy Racing team, because his teammate, Brandon Pierce, has found himself up into 8th position as well. All these guys had, well, at least his teammate had a shocking start, but he's managed to claw his way up to 8th with he's got Bernie Rusley in tow as well, with Alex McKuen behind them. But we're going to go searching now, because these guys are going to be nose to tail. I've got a feeling, but as soon as I take my camera off them, they're going to do a little bit of overtakey. But we're going to go back in the field and just have a look at Bernie Rusley, because he is up behind Brandon Pierce at the moment in the absolutely stunning looking... where's Hughes? Oh, my God, he's down here. Nathan Hughes is... he's in big trouble, ladies and gents. He's travelling slowly down to turn 9. I think he's got some big damage.
Right hand down.
Yeah, look at that. He can barely make it around the turn there at turn 9. He'll be coming into the pits, and geez, it's a long night for him. Sorry to Heather in the chat, but geez, I tell you what, you have some good days, you have some bad days in the sim, and this is certainly one of the bad days for Nathan Hughes. Matt Cotter, otherwise, is up behind James Claypole again.
Oh, geez, I'll tell you what, these two are just going hammer and tong. Oh, look at that. There's some traffic and people around there. Oh, that was scary. Oh, my goodness. If I was going full tilt through there, I would have been absolutely poleaxing myself into the side of those two cars. Matt Cotter saw it at the last minute and braked. That was some fantastic stuff there by Matt Cotter in the reaction department, and James Claypole in front of him. Oh, that could have been absolutely disaster for the both of them here. Is a safety car going to be called because of all of that carnage there? Or has everyone seemed to gather themselves out? We'll see what is happening here. It looks like it's race on at the moment. No one is giving each other an inch here. Nick Mallow has not galloped away from the Iron Rod. I tell you what, it's only 9/10 of a second here.
Oh, someone's just hit the wall so hard. I don't know who that was. Was that Claypole? He's gone.
That was Claypole. He's gone.
Yep. Oh,
We've just credited James Claypole on the pressure point motors, and he's going to find himself a lap down here, ladies and gentlemen. Rest in peace to James Claypole here at this point in time. He is teleported to the pits easily, thank goodness gracious me. There is a ZB still stuck on track there from the last lap, so I'm surprised the safety cars haven't been called. I think it maybe will be, surely, at this point in time. That ZB is off into the guardrail, but holy mackerel. Poor old James Claypole. It is a rate of attrition here, and you've got to be consistent the whole time, and that's what we get. Tell you what, Scotty Garrick, though, have a look at him, Chris Munro. He's all over the back here of Mr. Button. He's having a good crack.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, with the rest of that sort of happening at this point in time, 14th, 13th, 12th, and 11th could be on.
Yeah, this is where the party's at the moment. He's got, oh, there's a car off. Who's that? Oh, one of the AC karting entries. And look at that. Scotty Garrick just says, thank you very much. I'll take 2 or 3 positions at the same time. Gets past Dylan Barton as well as Clayton Pine. And he's up into 12th position for AC karting there in the Volvo. Oh, look at that, getting pushed along by Dylan Barton as well at the moment. Gee whiz, it's all happening back here in the field. It's hard to know where to look, but it's hard to go past the heartbreak for James Claypole, because he is now off the top page of the timing tower. He's down there in 18th position, 16th should I say, once all these pit stops come through. But Dylan Barton all over the back of Scotty Garrick at the moment.
Oh, look at that. The other teammate of Mr. Rusley is sitting there pretty in 12th place as Dylan Barton. Again, teammates from the same league who have come to the better one. Hey. And look, Dylan Barton just sent it into the wall. Oh, geez Louise, you couldn't have picked that any worse for me to get on the praise train for him. And I don't know how he kept it out of that. He seemed to keep going. And I'm not sure if that looked like it on stream, but geez Louise, he was in there harder than a $2 bloody hooker on a Saturday night. And that was some sensational stuff there to recover it. But surely some damage there for Mr. Barton on the front wing department. Geez Louise, but where do you see it? I'll tell you what though, Chris, let's go to Alex McKuen, because we've been on his watch all night, and he is on the back end of the other teammate of Dylan Barton, Bernie Rullsey, just navigating himself through the lap traffic, and I think he's going to get 6th place here. That is not... Oh, Bernie Rullsey's around. Oh, you couldn't pick a worse time for Alex McKuen to try that. He got in contact with some lap markers as he got squeezed wise there to Bernie Rullsey. Oh, you're kidding me. That was just some unfortunate events there. And I think Bernie Rullsey's going to find himself maybe in 10th at the worst. That's okay. Still in the top 10, but not where he wants to be. Alex McKuen again on the rampage here in the super soft tyre department and making his way through the field, but not as cleanly as you would like.
Yeah, I think just a little bit of a racing incident there. 2 cars going for the same bit of road. And poor old Bernie Rullsey just had to pop 2 tyres on the exit curbing there. I think it was turn 5. And just losing a little bit of traction through no fault of anyone's, really. Those boys were racing hard. So you get that here in racing. Sometimes you get the rub of the green. Sometimes you get turned around. But he will live to fight another day. There's still more than an hour. We're not even halfway through this race, ladies and gents. Bernie Rullsey is back in 10th. He's got Scotty Garrick about 8 seconds behind, so he's got a lot of space around him. Brandon Schmerl and Jason McFadden in front of him coming into the pits as well.
Yeah, and that, you know what? With all that pit action though, it's released Nick Mallow from Matt Cotter.
Oh,
Matt Cotter is that massive long, and look out! I think we have got a safety car, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to go. It is out and about at the moment. So that 7.5 second gap is now down to absolutely 0 for Nick Mallow. He will be spewing at the moment. But this is what you get at street circuits, ladies and gentlemen.
He's coming
Nick
into
Mallow
the pits.
is peeling into the pits. And that is what we want to see from him. He will be happy as a dog with a tin dick coming into the pits now, seeing that safety car out. This is a cheap pit stop, ladies and gentlemen, in the grand scheme of things. Can he get it pulled up on the marks nicely? I think he's just got it there perfectly for Nick Mallow. So he's into the pits. Matt Cotter's in the pits as well. Marsden in 3rd place.
Look
just
at everyone.
absolutely all of everyone's peeling in at the moment. This is great. Fergo's in the pits and Grant as well. Oh, geez, Marshall, Fitness, Eckert, all into the pits, just scrambling in because they're going to come out now. Nick Mellow's out on the super softs, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, geez, where can you find that? And I just saw before that happened, Chris Munro, Bernie Rullsey got a drive-through for cutting. So he is out of this race at this point in time, and he will have to take another trip through the pit lane after he does his pit stop now.
Yeah, he's just coming into the pits now. We'll see if he stops and takes a new set of supers, which is what the top 2 have done. Nick Mallow and Matt Cotter out on track now already with a new set of supers. Marsden has opted for the softs with Grant as well. Alex McKuen up into 5th position on a restart. So he's effectively a couple of tenths behind the lead now on a brand new set of supers. Holy moly, what a comeback drive from Alex McKuen. Oh, look at the teammates there from Not Right Racing, just not giving an inch on the pit exit there. Rullsey having to yield for his teammate Dylan Barton.
Jeez Louise, that was some hairy stuff. Luckily, once they get out on track and out of it, the game lets any overlap sort of dissipate until you're out of contact with each other. That could have been absolutely disaster there. And I'm sorry, I called it wrong. It was Dylan Barton, not Rullsey, who got the drive-through penalty. So Dylan Barton is going to have to take another trip through the pit lane, even though they are line astern at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. It is all out and about. What has happened and Rullsey's out. So Rullsey has lost it. And we said that in the driver's briefing between all of the drivers. If you loop it in the safety car period, that is absolutely stiff hits. You are going to have to resume the position that you have lost. And he has lost about 4 positions, really, to Claypole, Schmerl, Pierce as well. So Bernie Rullsey in 12th near under the safety car period. That is going to hurt, but Dylan Barton will be coming through the pits one more time in a lap's time or two's time, so he will probably inherit 11th place for Bernie Rullsey. not as bad as you thought, because everyone sort of comes in and Constantine is right behind each other for the safety car period.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, I think. There's a few cars that are a lap down now, so poor old Taylor Simmons, our race director, has got his hands full at the moment trying to sort out who gets to get a lap back and who doesn't. It's certainly confusing, and I'm glad I'm on this side of the screen. Zach O'Reilly, we just get to call the action and have a good time out here. But poor old Taylor's got his hands full at the moment, I'll tell you what.
The poor old sole race director and safety car period manager, so to speak, Chris Munro. That's some sort of thing. And Bernie Rullsey's come a cropper again.
Oh, has he?
He's gone down to 15th now. He looped it on the final turn. What are you doing, Mr. Rullsey? You're in the lead, son. And now here you are in 15th at the moment. Oh, the trials and tribulations of motorsport. That is exactly what's happening here for Bernie Rullsey. But nonetheless, with the safety car period, it bunches up the field again. We were sort of out to about 3-second gap between anyone from 4th downwards. And now they are all line astern. We have got Nick Mallow on the super soft, Matt Cotter on the super soft, Marsden soft, Lachlan Grant on the soft. Then in 5th place, the man on the charge at the moment, Alex McKuen, in 5th place on the super soft as well.
Wow.
Then Fergo in between him and Marshall is on the soft, and Marshall is on the super soft tyre. Then everyone else all the way back to 14th place, or 15th, sorry, is on a soft tyre. So a lot of strategical differences here between all of the drivers here, and it's going to be interesting with it. Not even, well, geez, still not halfway through, Chris Munro. An hour and 3 minutes of racing at least to go. Oh, geez, we're going to see some pit stop action when it comes through to that last sort of stanza in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier how many laps the soft tyre goes. Was it about 28, I think?
Yes, maximum.
Geez, I tell you what, if they you get anyone coming in with 28 laps to go, which would probably equate to about 30-something minutes, that's your golden zone. But I tell you what, I don't know. With the way that it's going, it seems to be more pit stops the better, because Alex McKuen has probably had about four pit stops already and has come out on a fresh set of supers every time and has made his way up to 5th position. That's absolutely unbelievable. He's got Lachlan Grant and Stephen Marsden in front of him, who are both on the soft tyre, so expect them to be just a little bit vulnerable here on the restart when they get going. And we're going to go around for another lap because there's another few cars just coming through as we speak. Or were they going into the pits? No, we've got more lapped cars just unlapping themselves, so we're going to go around for one more journey around this fantastic street circuit. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it's about time we get down to business. If anyone watching at home is enjoying what you see, just slap us a little subscribe on the channel, and I'll tell you what, it takes about 4 seconds of your time, but it goes a long way towards us bringing you the best content possible. And the algorithms and all that sort of stuff that I don't understand just makes it better for us in the long run. And I'll tell you what, if there goes Fergo around, that's not good.
Fergo, Marsden, Pierce, McFadden, Garrick, Claypole. What is going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Brandon Pierce and Ferguson just kissed about 28 times in the one boundary section, nose to nose, and that is disaster for everyone in Sundry. This safety car period is an absolute shitstorm, if I can put it any lighter than that. I'll guarantee you there's no other words. That is an absolute disaster for everyone in Sundry, and Andrew Ferguson has gone from 10th down to 19th with what the hell happened there. That was some sort of shocking incident, but he's been let by Bernie Rullsey and I think a couple of others in Sundry as well. I'm not sure what's going on here. We've got some cars coming in, cars coming out, black traffic getting out of the way, into the way. Fergo's just making his way back through the field. 12th, 11th, 10th. 9th, 8th, here we go. He's going to find himself back in 7th and 6th. What is Andrew Ferguson doing? Is he going back to where he was allowed to go? That must have been a server issue, Chris, we just missed, because the rules are if you bin it yourself on the safety car, that's it. So there must have been a car involved in all of that crap that we just saw there on the safety car session.
Yeah, I think Taylor Simmons, the race director, did have a hand in getting Ferguson back to that position. I think he was turned unintentionally by perhaps one of the cars behind. So he was allowed to resume his previous position there. So no harm, no foul. Maybe just a little bit of damage in the aero department there for Andrew Ferguson, but he'll be happy to go because I think we are ready for a restart here. All the cars have stopped weaving, and Matt Cotter is right up under the rear wing of Nick Mello, and I think we're ready for a start here, ladies and gentlemen. And what better time than now? It is exactly halfway through this race, and Nick Mello gets us underway here again for the restart. And he catches Cotter napping a little bit. There's a few tenths gap there coming down into turn one. It looks like McKuen is right up behind Lachlan Grant here, coming down up into turn three. Will he make the move here? He does not. He just sits in behind Lachlan Grant for the time being. There's nothing there for him doing, but I'll tell you what, the opportunity will become apparent soon because he does have the better going of the tyres. He's going to go around the outside here into the staircase. He gets that job done. There's Alex McKuen up into 4th place.
Wow, what a move around the outside. Lachlan Grant sort of had nothing to go there,
nope.
But that's a super soft versus a soft tyre difference, ladies and gentlemen. Apex speed is essential here, and that is what the super soft tyre gives you. Alex McKuen here trying to charge his way through the field. He's got about 10 laps to go before those super soft tyres become as dead as a doornail, and he is going to try and make every advantage to get into the podium position here on Stephen Marsden. Here he goes. He's got the move done. That is a pace difference there between supers and soft on the cold setup there, ladies and gentlemen. Alex McKuen from 38th into 3rd place, just under half the race it took him to get there. Oh my goodness gracious me, that was incredible stuff, and he is now in 3rd place and on a charge to get up to Nick Mello and Matt Cotter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'd be shaking in my boots if I was in the top two at the moment, seeing A. McKuen in your timing towers going, holy moly, I'm pretty sure he was down at the back at the start of this race, and now look where he is. He's got this his race in the palm of his hand, ladies and gentlemen. He just needs to put it all together and avoid any of carnage here. But looking back down the field, that's Brandon Pierce having a look at Harley Marshall, just having to opt out of that move at the moment, but as he shows the nose there into turn 5, it's not going to happen for him at the moment, but he goes back to the drawing board. He's got Harley Marshall, who in my opinion has run an absolutely fantastic race so far, still in 7th position on minimal practice as well. He probably had one of the least of laps done during the week. As in a record-breaking week of practice, mind you, we had thousands of laps done by all these drivers during the week, and what better time to do it in one of the most difficult circuits on the calendar. So a credit to all the guys, all the racers here at the moment. Brandon Schmerl going around the outside of Clayton Pine. It's not going to happen for him, and he's leaves himself a little bit vulnerable there to Dave Lolacano, who is hunting, who is just looking for a way through there on Brandon Schmerl, but Schmerl gets a really good exit out of 12, so that will not present itself for Dave Lolacano at the moment.
Well, I'll tell you what, don't worry about that. Up in 5th and 6th place, Ferguson has got past Lachlan Grant and has promoted himself into 5th place on the final corner of the previous lap, and he is now on a charge. He's Andrew Ferguson on that soft tyre. He's got his teammate in front of him, it's Stephen Marsden. So the two fully undergraduate championship motorsport racing drivers are absolutely sensationally getting a 1-2 finish here. Well, 4-5 at the moment, but they are 1-2 in the team standings, and that is fantastic driving from the both of them, considering where they all were in this grand scheme of things. At some stage in this race, they're up there, and I'll give you the hot tip, Chris. Brandon Pierce, what a recovery drive for him. He was down to 26th, 27th position. He is in 8th. And then also the iron rod, James Claypole, who yeeted it into the wall, still finds himself managing to get himself back up into 11th, inside the top 10, only 1.5 seconds behind Scotty Garrick at the moment. Absolutely sensational stuff here, but all the sundry. Brandon Pierce only half a second away from Harley Marshall, handing the back of him. Harley Marshall's handing the back of Lachlan Grant as well. The ZB Commodores, ZB versus VF is in front, and then the Falcon in Brandon Pierce. So he's going to bide his time. Here goes Harley Marshall trying to show the nose up the inside there of Lachlan Grant. Whoa. Gets the job done. That is a Meals on Wheels car out of the way. Thank goodness for that. Lachlan Grant now and Harley Marshall coming into T1 here. Who's going to yield first? Lachlan Grant's on the inside. He's got the job done still. He survives another lap in P6. Brandon Pierce now, however, breaks mid-corner just to avoid the back end of Harley Marshall. Trying to go around the outside is Brandon Pierce. Doesn't get the job done at this point in time. They're side by side just about as they come in, but Brandon Pierce still having to keep 8th place at the moment. He'll know that he's got the pace advantage there over Harley Marshall, bide his time, and maybe get 7th and 6th in the next probably 6 or 7 laps, I reckon, here for Brandon Pierce.
Yeah, that's absolutely well called there from yourself, Zach O'Reilly. It's all happening here in the midfield. Harley Marshall, Lachlan Grant, 2 ex-teammates going at it hell for leather there into the first turn. Lachlan Grant getting the better of that exchange for the time being. But Alex McKuen is now starting to apply the blowtorch to the old sparring partner, which is Matt Cotter there in front of him. 2 Holdens, one of yesteryear and one of a little bit more recent, the VF and the ZB. Going hell for leather here. We're going to ride on board with Alex McKuen because he's got absolute pace to burn at the moment. This is your pole sitter, ladies and gentlemen. He was quickest in practice, he was quickest in qualifying, and he took the coveted position of pole position after the top 10 shootout. So he has got the pace, and I'll tell you what, all those things will be running through Matt Cotter's brain at the moment as he looks into his mirrors and just loses it on his own. There goes Matt Cotter, just feeds it a little bit too much throttle, and that will promote Alex McKuen up into 2nd position. It's probably the easiest position he's grabbed all night, to be fair.
That was uncharacteristic from Matt Cotter. And I'll tell you what, Chris Munro, you know as well as I do, that is very uncharacteristic for him, an unforced error. But it does happen from time to time, and that is where we sit in the grand scheme of things. He was 8 seconds clear of Stephen Marsden, now only 2.6 seconds away. So Stephen Marsden can smell the blood on the plate and is hunting at this point in time to get Matt Cotter, knowing that he will be a little bit rattled at this stage with his teammate right behind him in Andrew Ferguson has gained on Stephen Marsden here. So the 2 FUCM Racing Volvos putting on a great fight here for 4th and 5th place, representing the Volvo family. The next best place Volvo is 9th and 10th in McFadden and Garrick, so don't worry about that. The Volvos are well represented here tonight, but I'll tell you what, Nick Mallow is 3.9 seconds away from Alex McKuen, or in front of, I should say. And Alex McKuen versus Nick Mallow, the lap times are incredible. 18.1 for Nick Mallow on that last lap, and a 19.2 for Alex McKuen. So a 2nd advantage there for Nick Mallow at this stage in the pace department. Matt Cotter had an absolute shocker, but we'll see what happens here. Bananarama is in 29th and seeing where he can get something up, and the chef is going to be behind him in the Meals on Wheels with Alan Nielsen as well behind. But just getting a little bit toey here, Chris Munro, because I'll tell you what, what?
Oh, no, I'm just loving the towiness, that's all.
Oh, it's getting toey, yes. Getting toey as a Roman sandal. Don't you worry about that. For 14th and 13th, because Jesse Marshall is applying the pressure here to Fabian Fitness for 13th and 14th. Only a half a second between them. Super soft for Jesse Marshall. Could this be an alternate strategy for one of the Marshall brothers here to peel his way through the field?
Yeah, we usually have the team engineer there for MBR in the chat, Ronald Marshall, so we might get some info as to what sort of strategy those guys are on, whether it be alternating or just both going down the middle. But here goes Jesse Marshall on Fabian Fitness, gets the job done, just slides up into the whoa, look at that, a little switchback there from Fitness as well. So back to the drawing board for Jesse Marshall. He's going to have to try that again maybe the next lap, but I'll tell you what, he's got the Volvo of Brandon Schmell all in his mirrors at the moment, so he's not getting anywhere in a hurry because, whoa, look at that, a little bit of servo lag as well. Brandon Schmell right up behind Jesse Marshall at the moment, who just pops a couple of wheels off the track as well and losing traction on the exit. But these guys are locked in a serious battle here. This is for 13th position on track. We'll see how they fare through the first section here. And ladies and gentlemen, it's probably a good time to remind everyone that these guys get a maximum of 6 track cuts before they have to take a little bit of an excursion through the pit lane in the form of a drive-through penalty. So there are no extensions added here for the Enduro round. It's still the same as you would get in the sprint rounds. So fifth time cutting the track, as you say, you get a warning, and on the 6th time you have to go through the pit lane as a scenic tourist.
Yes, a paid all expenses paid for excursion as they used to be in primary school from the state department. But if you're in the private school department and you are here on the racetrack, it's going to cost you a lot of time, and time equals money, as we know. So don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. If you are on the racetrack listening, you have only got 6 chances before you are out and about in through the pit lane. But nonetheless, this battle here at the moment, Chris Munro, for 7th, 6th and 8th, if I could say it properly, 6th, 7th and 8th, I can really get my words in, is heating up because Brandon Pierce is getting the back. That is a lap traffic car getting out of the way. Holy mackerel, that was close. But Harley Marshall is on the super soft tyre and Lachlan Grant is on the soft, but Brandon Pierce hanging with the both of them here on the soft tyre behind. So this could be a 3-way battle here that is sort of brewing here with the pot on the stove burner, just getting to that boiling stage, I would say, because Harley Marshall, with that super soft tyre after about probably 8 or 9 laps in, is going to start coming off. And it'll be off like a fish sandwich in the sun. I'll give you the hot tip if he lays up too many laps on that thing, and the difference between the two of them will start to fonder. And I reckon Lachlan Grant will be sighing a breath of relief once all of that happens. But geez, I tell you what, it's still on that Donkey Kong between the VFZB and the Falcon.
Yeah, I wonder how it all plays out with these two guys being pretty good mates, I think, Grant and Marshall, as they have been teammates for as many seasons as I can remember. They're for Mobile Run 1 Racing. But since the addition of young Jesse Marshall in the team for MBR, Lachlan Grant has had to go out on his own with Mobile 1, and Marshall and Grant departing ways there as teammates. So I don't know if there's any sort of bitterness there between them. Matt Cotter is in the fence. That's him around. Oh, just spotted that out of the corner of my eye. He's dropping down the order like an absolute stone in the water. He is down in 12th position and vulnerable to maybe 13th as well as Fabian Fitness.
Yeah.
That's a lap car of John Brown just sliding up the inside. Poor old Matt Cotter is in all sorts of trouble at the moment down there in 13th position.
Brown too, just for good measure. Sorry to take over there, Chris Munro.
No, you're right.
Matt Cotter is right hand down. I'll give you the hot tip. He is down about 90 degrees at this stage. So suspension damage for the big torpedo man. And I'll tell you what, he's getting names around all the parts of the circuit here is Matt Cotter. We've already got Cotter Concrete Corner here at turn 8 where he's about to go around. He's made another one at turn 3. We're going to have the Cotter Concourse, I reckon, that one. And right and down for the rest of the race is not comfortable, especially if you've got aero damage too. That is not favourable for Matt Cotter. Not to forget for him so far. I don't think he's going to get that fixed because that'll take a hell of a lot of time in the pits, ladies and gentlemen, here to get that fixed. He's going to have to navigate around probably a good second or so a lap slower than what his ideal pace would be from now on if he can get it done. But outside the top 10 for that, Alan Nielsen's copped the drive-through for cutting. And it is all happening here at Sensational TV at AK Racing. As Chris Munro said before, ladies and gentlemen, if you're loving what you are seeing here on the stream, give us a like on the video, give us a subscribe as well. It takes about 8 seconds combined for a like and a subscribe, 4 seconds either way, and we really appreciate it here too with the broadcast and the massive amount of effort that Chris Munro has put into the stream with the overlays, all the graphics, the sounds, everything involved here is all the work of himself for the upgraded stream we've just seen tonight. So massive hats off and thank you to yourself there, Chris Munro. It's been dead set fantastic.
Thank you very much, mate. And I'll tell you what, we couldn't do it without you. But, look at that. Brandon Pierce has just been absolutely speared off by a lap car. That's Rick Zack, I think, in the Nissan, who's just poked his nose up where it was certainly not deserved. And he's put Brandon Pierce, who was travelling in 8th position, into the fucking wall. Holy moly, it's all happening here. There's cars going everywhere. There's, holy moly, there's a Merc in the fence. We've got server issues here. We've got cars skipping all over the track. Holy mackerel. Hold on to your hats here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what the hell's happening, but that was all just, Jesus Christ. I'm just going to ride on board with Brandon Pierce and see how he's going. He's got steering damage, Zach O'Reilly, and the safety car is out.
Safety car's out. Dylan Barton's got steering damage as well. All that stands at 2. Brandon Pierce has got steering damage. He's right behind his teammate in James Claypole. They're going to be talking as well in the chat. I'll tell you that as well in the Mumble server, because with him on Mustangs there parked on the corner just doing absolutely nothing. Oh, this is incredible. Well, as I say, ladies and gentlemen, in the grand scheme of things, when it seems to just start to settle down after a safety car period, bang, we get another one. And that's exactly what's happened there. That was... I don't know if that was server issues, that was lag issues from drivers, but I think it was server issues there. And that is what you get with virtual racing. You cannot be any more consistent until the ping starts to do its own thing.
I don't know.
And that is what we've seen there.
See, I'd like to blame it on the ping, but I think there was an errant Nissan Altima there just doing the wrong thing when this gaggle of cars on the lead lap tried to pass at it. Albeit an inopportune moment there into turn 8, which is it's hard enough to pass there at the best of times. And
I'll be back.
And I know in the real world they do not let you pass through there. If you're going in too wide, it's whoever's got the less of it in the lead department has to just give way. But gee whiz, I wish we had a replay function as Brandon Pierce and James Claypole at the very last minute decide to take a pit stop. That is that was quite funny there from James Claypole, just making his way up the field. So we got Marsden Ferguson, the 2 FUCM racers there in the pits. Matt Cotter taking a pit stop, as well as Scotty Garrick and Brandon Pierce as well. Dylan Barton, Junior Ferguson down there in 21st position. He's had a tough night. He was, as I said earlier in the broadcast, he was there in the top 10. He was sitting there in 10th position, ready for that top 10 shootout. But he just got pipped on the line in the last, I'm pretty sure it was the last half an hour of the qualifying session. But as this safety car is out, all the guys are shuffling around, and Zaccarelli's back in the commentary box. But I tell you what, I hear a little... No, not just yet. Maybe I just heard a car pull up out the front, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later on. At the moment,
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. It's got me stumped. But I'll tell you what, they're just starting to pick up the safety car now.
Oh, geez, it's all happening here. Poor old Matt Cotter's got steering damage still. So has Brandon Pierce. What do you do? Like, honestly, what can you do when that sort of thing happens? There's some shuffling going on here in the backpack. Brandon Pierce nearly getting yeeted again in the safety car period. These guys have just got to turn the fire burners off and think about the grand scheme of things, because it's 43 minutes and 18 seconds left in this race. It's still 3/4 of an hour behind the wheel, and you've just got to get those collars just a little bit lower down. Stop popping them up and thinking you're King Dick, but... Jeez Louise, I'll tell you what, it's all happening. Clayton Pine's in the pits, I'll tell you what, at the front of the grid. Matt Cotter's in the pits too. Is he going to fix his steering damage? I highly doubt it. And we'll see where that puts everyone in the grand scheme of things. But I'll tell you what, Chris Munro, that car door has just slammed a little bit harder. Is that a couple of attempts, whoever it is? I'm a bit worried. But we're under safety car here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what is happening in the commentary box. Have just sort of peeled out. I can't see who it is at the moment in the silhouette of the night, but nonetheless, Chris Munro. What are we going to predict here off the safety car start?
Well, we've got the top 2 who started off the race in 1 and 2 are now only an hour and 18 minutes in, finally finding themselves together again on track. That's Nick Mello and Alex McKuen, the 2 guys from Project 4 Racing. These 2 guys are, let's just bring up the team standings while we're here. Well, that's the wrong graphic. So we will not bring up the team standings now. But they are out in front by quite a long way, Project 4. These guys are ultimate professionals here in the sim racing world. And I don't know how many times we have to say it, but here at AK Racing, with the Assetto Corsa and especially with this V8 Supercar mod, we do have the fastest guys in the country. I can't think of anyone else around the sim racing parts who are not participating who might be up there. There's a couple of guys who might be top 5, but I'll give you the tip. With the 2 blokes in the commentary box, it's all blown wide open here in the V8 land here in Assetto Corsa, but Nick Mello does lead us with his teammate Alex McKuen behind him. So that's going to be a battle for the ages, because I think McKuen, going by the qualifying and the practice times, does have a little bit more pace.
A little bit more pace, but at the same time, on the wires, during the race week, it was told to me by, I won't tell you who the name is once again, Nick Mallow, that Alex McKuen is the race pace master, so to speak. So we'll see where that puts him in the grand scheme of things. Sitting pretty in P2 at the moment. He's got a lap marker in front of him. I think that's a windscreen. Ian O'Brien just sitting there in second place. He's going to have to get permission to move out of the way, surely, before the safety car period is over. But let's see what happens, because in the grand scheme of things, with another lap to go with the safety car, what are we going to see? Are we going to see people come into the pits? Are we going to see, Matt Cotter's in the pits once again. So why is he in the pits 2 times in a row? Matt Cotter must have got a track cut or something, Chris Munro. I'm not sure what's happened there, but he's going to peel down the field, a cheap pit stop nonetheless. But I'll tell you what, in the grand scheme of things, Nick Mallow and Alex McKuen, new on Project 4 Racing, it's going to be on like Donkey Kong for the last 40 minutes here.
Yeah, absolutely is. I think Matt Cotter might have got maybe a speeding fine on the way into the pits, or he's serving a drive-through penalty anyway, so he's been maybe handed a stop and go, but we won't know that until after the race. There's still a car between the top 2, which is, I think that's Ian O'Brien in the Penrite.
The windscreen.
Yeah, absolutely. Windscreen Mobile Mechanics, the Ian O'Brien there. And I'll tell you what, good value windscreens if you ever need one. There in the Mercedes, the lonely Mercedes in the pack. I think he will probably be given his marching orders sooner or later to let these 2 guys at the front go. But we'll get there in the end, I'm sure. Oh, gee whiz. Let's run through the top 10. We got Mallow, McKuen, Lachlan Grant, where he started there in 3rd position, or did he start in 4th? Jason McFadden up in 4th, ladies and gents. He might be on the end of those super softs, so he might have to come in for a pit stop as well.
No.
Stephen Marsden up there on a fresh set of supers as well in the top 5. Keep an eye on him.
Brian's cousin, keep an eye on him. He's on softs.
Yep.
So he is fine. I don't think his super soft tyres are on the car at the moment, unless the graphics show me something completely wrong. But he is on the soft tyre. Brian's cousin, ladies and gentlemen, we all know where he sits in the grand scheme of things. And I'll tell you what, if that's an inheritance value at the moment, he is $6 million richer, because every time he gets the position inside the top 10 on any race at AK Racing, his cousin Brian decides to send him $1 million into the bank account. So I reckon another week is off for Jason McFadden up in the Bahamas if he can keep this 4th place at the moment. Well, what a place from him. He was nowhere. With all due respect.
We're green.
We're green and we're racing. That car gets out of the way in the Merc. McFadden is in 4th in the ranking up. That is incredible stuff. Here he goes. Navigates turn 1. Oh, there's carnage everywhere. Fabian Fitness in the background there. There's carnage happening. Cars all around at the back there. That Merc has not got out of the way in trouble. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Brandon Schmill is out of position 2. All the cars peeled beside him. What are we seeing here in the grand scheme of things? Chris Munro.
There's cars everywhere. It's about 3 wide down here looking at Ferguson. Cook on his outside of this Claypole. Pierce as well joining the battle. There is an absolute gaggle of cars, but Ferguson just puts his nose in front of James Claypole, and there's a few lap cars in between them as well. I think we've gotten to that point in the race where there's a few cars who are maybe multiple laps down, and there's just no way for the race direction team to sort that out. So you get 1 lap back under the safety car, but that's it. So where you are in the grand scheme of things does not matter once we start turning green. Scotty Garrick is up on the outside of Clayton Pine. The one-shot wonder man couldn't feature in the top 10 shootout. I had a graphic there ready for him, waiting in the top 10, but he didn't oblige. So thank you very much for that wasted time, Clayton Pine. Hopefully for the next round I can get you featured there. There's Bernie Rusley, I think, or one of the... it was Bernie Rusley. Absolutely sideways there around the final turn. He manages to gather it up, but he's down there in 24th position, Zach O'Reilly. What an absolute fall from grace. About 15 minutes ago, he was in the lead of this race.
He was, and you can't believe it. The server lag is incredible at the moment. We're seeing cars go off into the fence, out on the other side of the fence, whatever.
Oh, Mello.
24th place. So Mello's off. No. Nick Mello's unforced error himself. That is a disaster from Nick Mello. Maybe that was a hardware issue there for Nick Mello, or he got turned around, or what, he did it himself. I didn't see it. But Chris Munro's got a better idea. But Nick Mello in 5th place. I'll give you the hot tip. He's not ideal. That is a Volvo just gone. And he's collected. Oh, holy cowabunga. That was incredible stuff. McFadden has got absolutely no steering at the moment. He is right hand down. And he's in the race. Oh, my goodness. Get out of the way, son. There are cars behind him. Peeling all left, right, centre, upside down, whatever you want. But poor old Jason McFadden, he's completely out of this one. He has got no steering at all. He's not even going to make the turn here to get it around. Not another safety car, Chris Munro.
Oh, there can't be.
You're kidding me.
No, we just had one. Alex McKuen has found himself in the lead of this race. Poor old Nick Mello. I tell you what, there is a Nissan Altima out on the track that probably needs race direction to tell to come into the pits, because that is one too many incidents with the lead, the guys on the lead lap. I'll tell you what, Rick, Zach, you need to figure out what you're doing, mate, and maybe go through the blue flag rules again, because that was absolutely unacceptable there. Taking out the leader of this race, Nick Mello. Now, he is sitting in 3rd position, but that's enough of a scolding from me. We just caught the end of it, but he did tangle up with that Nissan Altima of Rick Zach, who is down in 40th position, I believe, at the moment. So not a great night for him, and things are only going to get worse once he gets his bum up to the steward's office, which is it's going to be a long walk for him up there tonight.
That's dead set, fair dinkum, ridiculous, if you ask me.
Yep.
I don't care what happens. That is just absolutely not on here at AK Racing. Completely missed all the instructions in the driver's briefing. If you are not up to pace here at Sensational TV and AK Racing, just give up. Honestly, if you're going to wreck other people's races, I don't care how much the blowtorch is, but that is an absolute joke. For that is 2 times now in the race within with about 15 laps that a Nissan has been out of it, and he should not be on the circuit at this point in time.
It's the same one twice. But as we focus our attention to Andrew Ferguson up behind Fabian Fitness, Sakarot.
Look out, here comes Fergo.
Oh, look at that. Oh, no.
Oh, goodness gracious me, Fergo and Fitness have come together. Fitness is around facing the wrong way. He is definitely going to be angry about that one, is Fabian, because now the pine cone is right up next to him as well. Jeez Louise, these two are having an absolute rip-snorting of a battle if it's going to be on. Fabian's doing all the defence moves, cutting in, breaking apex, mid-corner, whatever you want, because he doesn't want to leave any more position, because Ferguson dead set came in and pitted him into the wall. That was not unfair by any stretch of the imagination, I would say, but more of a racing incident. Fergo now getting hounded by Brandon Pierce, the man, the magician himself. Brandon Pierce with steering damage, managing to keep himself inside the top 10 at the moment. Jeez Louise, it's all on like Donkey Kong here. Fabian's still in the fight of his life, though, because the pine cone is right upside him here, coming into T9. Oh, that is cracking stuff there from the pine cone. Brilliantly done there from the P-Man. He has absolutely sent it and got past Fabian Fitness now with everything perfectly done. And I'll tell you what, Scotty Garrick and the Volvos want to have a half a crack at this too. This is all on like Donkey Kong here. Scotty Garrick's got some steering damage too, if you don't mind. He's a little bit right hand down. But look at this. This is a 3-way battle. Fabian's gone wide. Scotty Garrick's going to get 10th. Thank you very much, Mother for the Rabbits. Done. Position. Thank you very much. Inside the top 10 goes Scotty Garrick.
Yeah, easy as a little unforced error there from Fabian Fitness, but he just... it just shows the nose there into turn 1. It's not going to happen for him at the time being. He's under all sorts of pressure from behind. That looks like, who is that? Fabian Fitness? No, Matt Cotter is the next one behind him, and he's got about a 4-second gap in front. Poor old Matt Cotter at the moment under the pump, but this is where the battle is, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, we're going to look back. Junior Ferguson has got Dylan Barton in his sights. Tell you what, from a few seasons ago, Dylan Barton was one of the quickest guys in the server, perhaps maybe just a little bit undercooked in the V8s in the time off that he's had. But he's under big pressure now from the Volvo of Junior Ferguson. Geez, he likes to get it sideways, does Junior Ferguson. I'll tell you what, I remember last time around, I think in the qualifying session, he was as sideways as anyone getting around that track. And here he is doing the same tonight. He's fallen from grace. He started off the session here in 11th, I believe. And he's dropped back down to 17th, but there is still maybe time for one more round of pit stops. That is if there are no more safety cars. But, I mean, the theme of the night, Zach O'Reilly, is there's been plenty of pit stops tonight. Tell you what, hang on, we've got a knock at the door here at the sensational commentary box, so we might be being joined by a special guest or something.
I'll tell you what, fat man. If this is not the race of the season, I will give you a dead set shower early tonight in the commentary box. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Ray Warren, and welcome to about 30 minutes of sensational racing here at the Adelaide Street Circuit tonight. I am absolutely pumped. I've been watching it on the YouTube channels, as you would say here, for the last hour and 30 minutes. And I had to get down here with Quick Smart. I had it on KO, ready to go as I was driving in, and I saw all the safety car events. And I'll tell you what, fat man, if there is not a better place to be here for safety cars and getting some laps in, I'll give you the hot tip. It is Taylor Simmons driving around, if you could, in the safety car. I guarantee you wish he was be doing some laps tonight, but by jingo, by gee, by crikey, have we ever got a race on our hands here with Alex McKuen dead set out in front in the fair dingo department. Stephen Marsden 8 seconds away, and it has been the lap of the gods here from Alex McKuen, lap after lap tonight, from 38th on the grid, if you don't mind. He has come through with absolute sword fighting here, and I'll guarantee you he's got the talcum powder on between the legs because he is not sweaty at all.
Look, it's great to have you back, Ray Warren, an absolute legend of the commentary game. As I say every time, if there's a couple of flies going up the wall, you could make it exciting. What do you make of the racing so far tonight? We've had top 10 shootout, we've had trials and tribulations, we've had cars going off, we've had a bit of server lag, we've had as many safety cars as you could absolutely imagine. So plenty to sink your teeth into, Rabs.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's some teeth to be sunk in. I reckon if there was some skin out there tonight, a cannibal would be having an absolute fiesta there, digging his teeth into whatever skin he possibly can and drawing some blood. And I'll tell you what, in the fair dingo department, Matt Cotter has an absolute shitstorm of a night tonight. He will be hitting the showers early once he gets off this stream, sitting in 11th there, probably sitting pretty for the lead of the race at one stage. And just depends on where you sit the car through the corner. I'm not a racing aficionado myself, but I reckon here in the grand scheme of the fair dingo department, Matt Cotter has been the worst of the wear tonight. And he has been probably, if I could put in a rugby term here, Chris Munro, he has been absolutely crowbarred from the neck tonight here at Adelaide Street Circuit.
He is crowbarred like the Queenslanders were, unfortunately, on Wednesday night. I'm sure you were watching that with great detail. But look at this. Junior Ferguson and Dylan Barton going into turn 1 side by side. Junior Ferguson getting the best of that, and he will take that position off him into 15th position. Thank you very much for the rabbits, he says. We're looking up the field now. There's the next little battle. Shawnee Mitchell. It's the first time we've seen him. Meals on wheels in the Mustang. Bright orange, mind you, up into the top 15. He's got Jesse Marshall in his sights, but he's also got Junior Ferguson and Barton all over the back of him. I tell you what, what's on the commentary cards this month, Rabs? You've been a bit quiet in the NRL game. You might be taking a step back into retirement, perhaps.
Well, Chris, I'll tell you what. I've decided to actually go on with the cricket commentary. I featured about 12 years ago with Sir Richie Benno himself, rest in peace, the great man. And I've decided to absolutely host the one-day series coming up this summer for the Aussies versus the Sheep Shaggers at New Zealand. Whenever that happens, I will be dead set right there for you, giving you all the best commentary. So stuff the NRL. I reckon we're going to have an absolute barnstormer of a cricket season coming up. But that is not where we want to be at the moment, because here at Sensational TV, where I find myself right now, we have got racing on here at the Adelaide Street Circuit. I'm getting my E85 fuel fix. I'll tell you what, when I rocked up before, you said that you heard a bit of a knock at the door and some cars slamming. I think that was maybe your co-commentator, Zach O'Reilly. But I was soaking in the E85 fuel from here, and I'll tell you what, I am higher than a Queenslander's dick after a state origin win, and probably as lower as anything else you could see here, maybe an amoeba, as I would say. But look, in the grand scheme of things, I'm excited here for the racing right now, but in the future, see me on the Wild World of Sports for the cricket in the summer period between the Aussies and the Sheep Shaggers, coming your way live here at Sensational TV, I would assume.
Oh, we'd love to have you here for any kind of racing, but geez, the server's having some absolute dramas here. I don't know if it's the same for you, Rabs, on your screen.
It's absolutely scattered here at the moment. Worse than the Bulldogs versus the St. George Illawarra Rabbitohs or the Knights, whatever you want to call them. I've forgotten because I'm a bit dementia at these days. But it's sort of settled itself out now. Bernie Rullsey has just got a drive-through for speeding in the pit lane, and I would tell you what there, fat man, he will dead set be hitting those showers early tonight.
Yeah, he's had a gutful, I'm sure, by now. What an absolute fall from grace. He might be a contender for Champ Street tonight, a new segment we've got here on Sensational TV. It's yeah, absolutely. We've got it's like Champions Avenue, but on the opposite end of that, someone who probably should have done a lot better than they did. But we're going to go up to the front of the field here because James Claypole is all over the back of Andrew Ferguson, who actually just sidesteps him there on the way into turn 9. Maybe that was a little bit of a redress from what happened earlier. Oh, look at this. Ferguson's got damage. Ferguson's in big trouble here. He's just been turned around by a car coming through there as well. Can I get the bloody... Oh, look at that. The steering wheel's gone. Okay, we got no steering wheel, ladies and gentlemen. He's probably in all sorts of trouble. Let's see if he turns into the pits here, coming into the final turn. He does take a pit stop. I think it's time to maybe fix a bit of damage there. Yeah, look, he can hardly get into the pit lane. Poor old Ferguson. That is the end of his race with 24 minutes to go. That's certainly not ideal for him to be fixing damage. Stephen Marsden getting passed as well by James Claypole. It's it's all starting to heat up here with 20 minutes to go. I'll tell you what, Rabs, we don't want to take up too much of your time, but maybe give us your final thoughts on tonight's race and maybe some predictions.
Look, I've been appreciative of butting into the commentary box here. My co-commentator Zach here is just looking at me with absolute dead set, jaw-dropping amazement at my talent. And I would tell you what, fat man, if we're going to have a prediction for the race, as you just called it before, with 35 seconds in front here, Alex McKuen is only going to have a dead-set miracle come his way into losing this race, and I would say it's going to be a lap marker getting in the way there, as we see a lot of passing going on there. But I'll tell you what, with all of the things in sundry here, we've got Everett Lachlan Grant and a Harley Marshall coming through here for P2 and 3 at the moment. Dead set in the fair dinkum department. If they can keep on to top 2 and 3 here, I reckon I will go down in the showers early myself and join the likes of Andrew Ferguson, who was turned around quicker than a dummy half in attack. I'll tell you what, he was looking wrong way here, right this way, whatever you want to do. But without any further ado, I'm going to sign off here for tonight. Get back into my comfortable Nissan Altima myself. I'm the Nissan guy. I'll tell you what. And get in the beautiful heater of the Nissan Altima. Sit back, relax, enjoy the co-commentator of Zach O'Reilly and yourself there, Chris Munro. It's been an absolute honour and privilege to be here 2 weeks in a row, if you don't mind me, without invitation. And I will see you guys probably within the next half of the season coming up here, if I'm not too busy shagging the missus. If you give me the tip there, I'll give you the hot tip, and I'll give you the hot tip, I'll give you the mail. But thank you very much. I've been Rabs Warren. I will be your host at sometime this year, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Enjoy the race with 22 minutes and 3 seconds to go.
Oh, gee whiz. Someone turn his mic off. The old boys, he's come.
I'm trying to get in the bloody co-commentator section here, and this bastard, he thinks he's an overprivileged old age man, just comes in and just takes it all up with Chris Munro. Sorry about that. He dead set padlocked me for about five or 10 minutes, I reckon, there, just with absolute dribble. But nonetheless, it's a pleasure to have
have the Rayman back in the commentary box here for the last 20 minutes of the race. It's all being new, mate. We're all back to the professional stuff.
Oh, look at this. Lachlan Grant giving John Brown a blue flag, a little bit of a hurry up there around turn 3. That could have been a lot worse than it actually turned out to be. Yeah, these guys really just kept it straight somehow. Stephen Marsden is up behind James Claypole, mind you. This is for a top 4 finish. Stephen Marsden has kept his nose clean for the majority of this race, and he'd be absolutely cheering in the position that he is in now. He's got James Claypole, an absolute bee's dick in front of him, and Lachlan Grant just about 3.5 seconds down the road. You can probably see the underglow of the Mobile 1 VF Commodore just down the just going through turn 8 at the moment. So I tell you what, FUC Amber Racing under. I tell you what, they were. Oh no, the John Brown, get out of there! You're a blue flag, mate. Get on the bloody brakes. Don't you be hitting the guys on the lead lap on the way through. I'll tell you what, Zach O'Reilly, the blue flags tonight have been absolutely disgraceful. These guys need to figure out what's going on. There's no need to be challenging these guys into especially a hard braking zone like turn 9. There, Stephen Marsden was just lucky to get away with that and not be turned around by that errant Coca-Cola ZB Falcon.
ZB Commodore, if you don't mind.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, that's okay, no stress. I'm here to control the misspoken words, but don't you worry about that. I do it myself. But yes, you're 100% right there, Chris Munro. That was absolutely dismal stuff there, as Richie Benno would say. And I would put in the mail straight away that these blue flag markers, after a relatively good position in last round that we had, now they've just absolutely forgotten what to do here on a street circuit. I don't know what the hell goes through their heads, but I'll tell you what, it's not very good at the moment, ruining some people's races. Cotter now is all over the back here of James Claypole. It is switching positions. Holy cow! Runs in the fence. He is out.
Oh, no.
He's got damage. He's completely gone, and that is hit the wall 3 times within 200 metres. Has the iron rod. He is completely out of this race, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolute disaster. He is right hand down further than the sun on the Thursday night, and that is all out for the iron rod. He was coming back, Chris Munro, with an absolute vengeance there, and that is all over Red Rover. He is all over the track, bouncing here, left, right, upside down, whatever you want, and that is it for him with 18 minutes to go here in the race. That is disaster.
Yeah, he's going to just try and do his best to get around this.
He won't get in.
Tight right-hand turn. He's just going to have to slap it off the wall and hope for the... Oh, no. This is just going from worse to worse for James Claypole, who was the early leader of this race and in his own right out there to win it. Look at Alex McKuen out there in front enjoying a 43-second advantage now.
If you don't mind.
Jesus Christ, what a drive. He's come from last to not only first, but he's probably lapped half the field as well by now. Harley Marshall sitting in second. Stephen Marsden having an absolute ball there in third position. He's being hounded a little bit by Lachlan Grant at the moment. Matt Cotter has worked his way up into fifth as well. I feel like this is going to be where the action is going to be for the next 17 minutes. There's a little bit of a battle heating up between Pierce and Garrick as well. We're going to keep one eye on that. But here goes Matt Cotter looking up the inside of Lachlan Grant. They're going to go side by side into turn 10. Lachlan Grant's going to have the better of it over the outside. But oh, look at that. Cotter just sneaking it up the inside. There's no love lost here between these two. We're going to ride on board with Cotter and see if he can make any sort of move stick here into the final turn. He just gets down the inside. Lachlan Grant gives him plenty of room, and probably the wise idea, because I think Matt Cotter, as well as a couple of the guys earlier that just got planted down to the back of the field, are driving in a bit of anger. There's a no right, Jesus Christ, one of those gold friggin', I don't know, it was either Barton or Rullsey just stuck on the racing line. Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you, Jesus Christ indeed, blasphemy to the highest thing. Lachlan Grant is now going to serve a drive-through penalty for cutting.
No.
In avoidance of all of that. He is out of this race. Matt Cotter has got a free fourth position there. Nick Mello's going to take fifth off Lachlan Grant, which means that is going to be on like Donkey Kong. Because Nick Mello is on a set of super stops till the end of this race. I would surely anticipate there. So Matt Cotter's going to have his mirrors full of that. He can't get up the back of Stephen Marsden. Very, very quick, smart. Poor old Lachlan Grant. after all of that hard work where he's sitting at the moment, he's copping a drive-through, and that will be his race over and out for a podium hunting position for sure, even a top 10 maybe by the time we get through it all. Oh, you couldn't have picked a worse time to get a cut here for Lachlan Grant. But that is racing, ladies and gentlemen. It's not over until the fat lady sings. I'll give you the hot tip. Nick Mello, he's trying to get himself back into the top 3, I would say, here with all of that. Alex McKuen, as you said, Chris Munro, 45.5 seconds out in front. Where can you get a cleaner race for this man after all of the trials and tribulations and safety cars and whatever, and he still manages to be over half a minute in front as we cross the line here for 68 laps completed.
68 laps here at Adelaide Street Circuit. That's enough to give anyone the shits, to be fair. I'm so much happier here in the commentary box than I would be out there on track. These boys would be sweating it up, an absolute plenty here at the moment. Alex McKuen is out in the lead of this race by an absolute boatload. Actually, that gap's come down to 28 seconds.
Pierce is out.
Pierce. Oh no, that's disaster for Pierce. Oh no, he's actually teleported back to the pits. He's gone. It's a DNF. He's quit the server. Oh no. Nick Mello is up behind Matt Cotter now. It's all starting to happen here. The blowtorch is applied. He's just going to go for it. Look at that. Nick Mello on Matt Cotter. Has the super soft tyres. Matt Cotter is pretty much defenceless there on the move under brakes for Nick Mello. He moves his way up into the top 4, and that's Project 4 with another absolute stranglehold on this race weekend.
And the team championship too, if you don't mind. They are in front by a country mile after this event. I'll give you the hot tip. Yep. Harley Marshall doing his best impression here for a second place for.
Oh, what a drive.
For everyone. And what a drive from him. It's been absolutely fantastic to see him there. There is a Zephyr Commodore going completely off and sideways in front of him. That would have given me the shits. I'll give you the hot tip. But Harley Marshall doing a great job to sit there in the second place. Stephen Marsden is going to have to watch his mirrors because Nick Mello is angry on those super soft tyres coming up behind him at a rate of knots, if you don't mind. It was 4 seconds. Now it's down to 2 and a bit. So look out for Nick Mello. But will he have enough time here before those super soft goes off in the grip department? We don't know. I'll tell you what, if Ray Rabs Warren was here, I'll give you the mail. He would be absolutely singing to the high heavens here for a Project 4-1-2. I'll give you the mail.
Oh, he loves that sort of stuff. It's down in his DNA there. The man, the golden voice of Australian commentary, be it Supercars, be it NRL, be it whatever else he wants to commentate on. 2 flies going up the wall. I'll give him my attention, absolutely. He's one of the best getting around. Jesse Marshall, in the meantime, has made his way up to the back of Fabian Fitness there in the Monster Energy 873. This is for the top 10, knocking on the door. He's got Jack Ferguson behind him as well, so maybe a nice little menage a trois happening here for the final top 10 standings. We're going to ride on board with Jack Ferguson and see what sort of headway he can make on Jesse Marshall in front. The Marshall boys having a pretty good stint here at the moment, but I've got word from their team engineer. Oh, geez, Jack Ferguson slapping the wall there on the outside of turn 8. That's not ideal for your suspension, but it looks like it hasn't damaged him too much. Going back to that, Ronald Marshall in the chat says these guys are on the softs, but they will be transferring to the super softs for a final last-ditched effort. So hopefully, well, I mean, it's all up in the air. If I was Harley Marshall right now, I'd probably be looking to stay on this set of tyres to the end and maybe just try and hold out Nick Mello, because by the time Nick Mello gets up behind him on those super softs, they might be just shagged enough that he has a chance at defending.
Well, it looks like they're shagged enough already, Chris. Harley Marshall's already gained a second on him on this lap alone.
Yeah, right. So
it looks like those super softs are coming off, but I tell you what, when it comes to the grand scheme of things, we're just never going to count out these boys at Project 4. They seem to find the money where it always is. X marks the spot on the treasure hunt map, and these guys seem to find it every single time, so let's not count them out too quickly. And I'll tell you what, looking down that field, Jack Ferguson is in the battle for his life, because he's up the back here of Dylan Barton, who is also on a set of super softs. In fact, everyone between 11th to 7th is on a set of super softs here, so it's a race of attrition here for everyone in sundry. But Jack Ferguson now has got the upper hand here on Dylan Barton. Really, really strong on the brakes there is Jack Ferguson. That is some fantastic driving.
look out for him. He could be inside the top 10 for representing the Ferguson household, because his old man is sitting down there in 16th and not too happy, I guarantee you.
No, not at all. I forget what happened to Ferguson. There was a bit of tomfoolery happening there in that gaggle of cars in the midfield, and I think Fergo just got spat out there. But this is the night for Junior Ferguson to stamp his authority of being the big dog in the house as far as the sim world is concerned. So he'll be strutting around for the next couple of weeks, I think, with bragging rights there in the Ferguson household. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there with the back marker again, man. What is going on here with the blue flags? Dylan Barton just getting a side swipe there from John Brown in the Coca-Cola ZB Commodore, but luckily just being able to gather it up and not adversely reacting to that contact. Jack Ferguson looking up the inside now of Dylan Barton. These two guys are going to go side by side down the back straight, or are they? No, Jack Ferguson just opting to sit in behind in the slipstream, or the suck, as we like to call it here at Sensational TV. Will he get an opportunity down the inside? It looks like he's just a little bit too far behind this time, but Server doing some funny things as well. So Jack Ferguson way out wide there, maybe using the AC karting entry of Brandon Schmerl there as a braking marker, but that's probably nor here nor there, as they all just play on for that. Looking up and down the field here, Nick Mello is up on the inside of Harley Marshall here for second place. Are they going to go? Oh, no, that's disaster there for both of those.
Oh, you can't pick it any worse. That is ridiculous.
Look at
Harley
that.
Marshall, unfortunately, is in the pits already, so he is meant for a super soft run, but 9 minutes and 49 seconds to go. I don't know if that's going to be a rate of position that he wants to be, although if it plays for him, is probably a good thing. Scotty Garrett is... No, that's a timing thing.
He's going a lap down. He got... him and Mello went into turn 8 side by side, and Harley Marshall just went absolutely flying through the air. So he will go a lap down, Harley Marshall. That is absolutely heartbreaking for Harley Marshall and MBR Racing, to be fair.
Oh, that's disaster.
Yeah.
The MBR team, they've had a great night through all the trials and tribulation. That's just another knife in the back of that team. But no worries, it's all happening here at the front. He's only second, Matt Cotter, sorry, is on the back of Nick Mello with about 2 seconds between the two of them. But Nick Mello is on the back now of Stephen Marsden and catching at a rate of knots. I said never count him, Chris Munro. Here for third place, it is only a second between third and second place. Who is going to get 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go? Those super size about dead, or other size on Stephen Marsden's car. There's a door nail already. We'll find out within about a couple of laps' time. He's gaining just a little bit of 10 a bit here. Each corner is just gradually getting him his mellow on Stephen Marsden. But I'll tell you what, Chris, we all know what happens in the Marsden household after a good night out. It's a podium on in the Marsden household. There is a week off work coming, Stephen, to give you the hot tip. Yeah. These guys at the Marsden place know how to party. Chris hears them from about 40 k's away, partying in through the night. Fireworks, there's firecrackers, there's bloody champagne going around everywhere. There's people, ladies of the night, rocking up at the door at the Marsden household. It's all happening, and they love it. Stephen Marsden can keep it in second or third place here tonight. He is up for a treat.
Yeah, look, here we go. He's going to have to get his way around this errant John Brown ZB Commodore that's been absolutely hard to pass as a yeah, there you go. The comments from the Supercoach there. Get off the throttle, mate. Let these guys through. They are battling for second position. Holy moly, do you need any more of an invitation there? Surely not, but we're going to ride on board with Nick Mello now. And as you said, Zach O'Reilly, the party is probably already starting to kick up there in the Marsden household, because there is 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. He's holding on to second position. He's on the harder option of the two tyres, but Nick Mello has been on this set of Super Softs for quite some time now, and I think the pace differential is starting to level out between them, as you can see there. The drive off that turn there in turn 9 was probably in the advantage of the Volvo, just gapping Nick Mello off that sort of that slow stop and start exit there. So I guess it's anyone's race here in the next 6.5 minutes. But if anyone deserves a podium, it is Stephen Marsden.
Absolutely. He's driven sensationally tonight for the punt. And I've just been a bit harsh there on the blue flaggers, but I think it's all relatively true because we just need to focus on that here at AK Racing. We are involved in that here at Sensational TV, ladies and gentlemen, and we broadcast them happily and proudly here at Sensational TV. These blue flag guys need to get some better education on the board before they get that. But I tell you what, poor old Stephen Button here is now up the back of some more blue flag markers, not getting out of the way they need to.
I think
and I'll tell you what,
yeah, look at that.
It's fine. Finally, they get out of the way. It hampered him a little bit there, but Stephen Marsden's got the jump there on Nick Mello. So half a second difference here now between the two of them, with about 4 laps to go, I reckon, here before the timer clicks over to 0. And this is going to be on like Donkey Kong here for the second place on the podium at the moment here for the 2-hour enduro here at Sensational TV, AK Racing at Adelaide.
Yeah, no, absolutely beautiful work there from those blue flags that just hampered them for a little while, but you can't do much. You can't get out of the way completely all the time, but they did the absolute perfect thing there and just waited till the straight, got off the racing line and let these two guys battle it out as they do, going past, I think that's Jesse Marshall there as well. It is. So these guys, I tell you what, 5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Alex McKuen has it in the bag, if not for some sort of disastrous kind of connection issue. But I think it's come down to this. We're going to look at Lachlan Grant and Clayton Pine as well. Oh, look at this, Lachlan Grant just sliding up the inside there in turn 14, and he will take 6th position off Clayton Pine. Great racing and a great race there from Clayton Pine as well. We're going to go through the field just slowly and see where these guys started. So Alex McKuen started from the front, and he's going to finish at the front after an absolute Tolkien journey through to Mordor and back up to the front of the field. Stephen Marsden heading forward as well. He started in about 8th position, I think. Oh, look at that. Lachlan Grant's just hit the wall. That's not good for him. He's going to invite Clayton Pine back into this, but he's got back on his scooter and he's back down the field. Matt Cotter up into 4th position. Nick Mello into 3rd. Scotty Garrick, what a great race from him, up into 5th. Lachlan Grant into 6th as we're looking at the moment. Clayton Pine, a fantastic effort from him, as well as Fabian Fitness, and Dylan Barton is into the top 10, as well as Jack Ferguson. There's some pretty good drives happening tonight, Zach.
Yeah, fantastic there from Jack Ferguson in the top 10. He'll be happy as a dog with a tin dick with that sort of stuff. And Dylan Barton, cracking stuff. Oh, he nearly came sideways there. We just commentator cursed him as well. Nearly lost it at turn 8. That was some hairy stuff. He's on the back of Fabian Fitness too. Oh, there's some black markers there. Geez, they got it. They parted the waters there. That was some Moses-style action there for the two of them in Barton and Fabian Fitness. And James Claypole's got through there too. He's getting through some black markers as well. And the ZB Commodore, he's under pressure from Jesse Marshall too. But it's all happening here between 9th and 8th. Fabian Fitness and Dylan Barton. Who's going to get that position here? It's Ford versus Holden here for the last 3 laps of the race. I don't know what's going to happen here, Chris Munro, but it looks absolutely fantastic here. But in saying that, we've got to look back to the top 3 at the start here, Chris. Look out, Stephen Marsden has just come a proper there on the final turnout in turn 9, and now Nick Mello was gone from a second, and now he's only 2.5 tenths away from the rear end of Stephen Marsden. This could be the final podium position battle here. Holy mackerel, what are we going to see? Are we going to see a trials and tribulations event for Stephen Marsden, or is Nick Mello going to have to sit pretty in 3rd? Who knows? It's all on the Donkey Kong here for the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the race.
Grandstand finish coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Do not turn away from your sets because it's all about to happen here. We got 2 minutes to go. This could be the second last lap. Stephen Marsden with about a 5/10th gap here at the moment. Really great drive out of turn 2 up into turn 3 now, and that's just textbook stuff there from Stephen Marsden through the staircase. He's absolutely meaning business right now. I think Nick Mello is starting to struggle on that old set of super softs, but Stephen Marsden can almost smell the finish line. He can smell the silverware, ladies and gentlemen, and he wants it worse than anyone else, and especially for SUCM Racing tonight. He wants to get that podium finish to just shotgun his team up into the standings. Oh no, that's a disaster. Marsden's out. He's hit the wall there at turn 8. Oh no.
Marsden has nearly got collected by absolutely Matt Cotter, the torpedo. He can't believe his luck. Marsden is completely out of this. Lachlan Grant's going to come up behind him too, I reckon, here, because Marsden is travelling at 2k an hour at the moment. Completely gone. He's Stephen Marsden. He had the top 3 position nailed there. Lachlan Grant can't believe his luck. He's in 4th. Scotty Garrett's going to take him as well in 5th place as well. What is going to happen to Stephen Marsden? He is completely DNF. Will this be a safety car? Surely not for the last minute and a half of racing. Oh, you can't make anything up here at Sensational TV at AK Racing. That is disaster for Stephen Marsden, and Matt Cotter, after everything that's happened, is in the top 3, ladies and gentlemen.
That is, I can't speak, but here comes Dylan Barton up the inside of Fabian Fitness, gives him a little bit of tap as well, turns him around. You can't do that. You're going to have to wait for him to get back out on track, and it's play on, ladies and gentlemen. After that was pretty fortunate for both of those guys to get out of that unscathed. Poor old Stephen Marsden, mind you, is just dropping down like a stone at the moment. He's in 9th position. He will probably end up 10th or worse. Looking at Jack Ferguson now up the inside of Harley Marshall. There you go. Look at that. Jack Ferguson up into 9th position.
Hey.
That's good stuff there for the Ferguson household. There might be a party there as well, but I'll tell you what, he might have to open his wallet for the old man because rent is now on the cards. He's going to be charged for what market value, I suppose, $180 per week for a one-bedroom place there in Tingalpa, Australia. But good on you there, Jack. Absolutely fantastic racing there from you. Clayton Pine is stopped on track as well. That's, oh my God, that's another DNF. Clayton Pine is out. He's gone as well. Oh my God. There goes Jack Ferguson up into 8th. Harley Marshall up into 9th. It's all happening here. It's the last lap.
It's going to get 10th.
Here goes Alex McKuen coming around the final turn for the last time. What an absolute drive there from Alex McKuen. Takes the checkered flag in the Enduro here at Adelaide Street Circuit. What a drive.
What a drive there from Alex McKuen. He's got a minute over the rest of the field and his teammate, if you don't mind. And now Nick Mello there. That is an absolutely sensational drive there from Alex McKuen. Could not have scripted that any better for himself. Stayed out of all the trouble, did everything he possibly can, and that is what you get for an Adelaide Street Circuit race in the grand scheme of things, keeping it clean and keeping it mean. Alex McKuen, once again, Nick Mello's still not around the final turn here. He's only at bloody turn 11, if you don't mind. He comes to turn 12 as Nick Mello. So he is hot on the collar at the moment because Matt Cotter's going to finish in the podium positions. But driver of the day is 100% Alex McKuen. You cannot defeat that winner and driver of the day. What an absolute feat. Nick Mello's going to cross the line right as we speak now for 2nd place. Matt Cotter's going to get 3rd, and then a distant 4th place is Lachlan Grant. He couldn't believe his luck either. And Scotty Garrett in the top 5 with steering damage at the moment is Scotty Garrett.
Oh, look
this is disaster for Scotty Garrett.
Oh, no.
Get absolutely fucked. That is ridiculous there for anyone in sundry. Scotty Garrett is going to get robbed of a 5th place here because Dylan Barton is not far behind him at the moment. He's coming up down to basically... Oh, no, he's a fair way away. So Scotty Garrett's somehow going to survive for 5th. Oh, my goodness gracious me. That is ridiculous from Scotty Garrett getting turned around. No, don't come into the pit, Scotty. It's a final lap, son. What are you doing? He's going to transverse the lane, or is he got a drive-through penalty here? What's Dylan Barton doing? He's at turn 12 at the moment. What is going to happen? Is Scotty Garrett going to cross the line or not? The 5th place is still on here, ladies and gentlemen.
I think he's
Where's
finished.
Dylan Barton? He's going to get him. Is Scotty Garrett still standing still? He is.
No.
Where's Dylan Barton? Dylan Barton's coming into the pits.
No.
What are they doing?
You know
is
what?
Everything over?
I've got a feeling that Alex McKuen has lapped the field, and everyone's finished. Yep. Everyone's
stuffed. Get stuffed.
He's done it.
Well, absolutely robbed me.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way you're going to be pulling in the pits there. That is the race done and won. Look at this. Absolute gaggle of cars down the back. Everyone doing their best to do a warm down lap. Getting us all excited. Here in the sensational commentary box. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen it all here. We've seen multiple safety cars. We've seen a few little pile-ups early on in the race as well. We've seen one of the best drives that I've ever seen Alex McKuen there, coming from 38th position on the grid to win by almost a minute. That is absolutely sensational. That is one of the best drives, apart from maybe my drive at Adelaide maybe 4 years ago. I've never seen a better one.
Oh, look, I would even put it better as maybe just on the cusp there, Chris Munro, but my sensational drive at Townsville was just something to behold.
That's pretty good
Absolutely to behold. Got absolutely robbed there by a grid position. But nonetheless, Alex McKuen, take a bow.
Yeah.
You have won the race by an absolute country mile, nearly lapping everyone, nearly a lap quicker than your teammate in Nick Mallow after everything that happened. Here he comes, Nick Mallow into the field. Oh, geez, you can't write that sort of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We had everything you wanted to see here at Sensational TV. We had safety cars. We had lap markers in the way. Lap markers not doing anything to get out of the way. We had people hitting the wall at turn 8. We had people slapping in with steering damage coming into the pits. And after all that's said and done, we thought one bloke was completely out in the name of B. Pearce, found himself in 10th place by the end of the race after being DNFing. So absolutely sensational stuff there. Absolutely cracking effort from Scotty Garrick in 5th as well. And Jack Ferguson in the Fergo household has won the chockies. He's going to go and send that note under the old man's door and say, look out, son, you're going to have to pay... Oh, look out, Dad, sorry. You're going to have to pay me rent back in advance from every time I've slapped you in the Wednesday Cup, because he has won there at the moment. But Alex McKuen, Nick Mallow and Matt Cotter are your podium position getters here for tonight. We're going to get them into the post-race interview rooms, I would say. Chris Munro, what are we going to do here with these three?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them in there. There we go. There's McKuen, Mello, and who am I looking for?
We'll get Cotter.
Cotter, you're going to get him there as well.
Yeah, I'll bring him up.
Absolutely. We are live here at the post-race interviews for the 2-hour race. Enduro here at AK Racing. What an absolute, what a masterclass. What a masterclass of overtaking and strategy there, Alex McKuen. That is one of the best drives I've ever seen. Take us through what you were thinking after the forced pit stop after lap 1. Is he there? Is he there?
Is he there?
Oh, no, I'm...
you're not speaking there. You got to unmute yourself, big boy.
I'm muted. There we go.
There we go.
I'm muted again. So I'll ask Alex McKuen again. What was your thinking after having to pit after the first lap? Was there damage there? Did you? We saw you fall back through the field. We didn't quite catch what happened. Was there damage there in the first lap, Alex McKuen?
Yeah, opening lap, hitting that inside wall on the inside of turn 8. The car was pretty substantially dead. So pitting for damage, pitting for repairs was pretty much a no-brainer.
Yep.
Wouldn't have been worth running the rest of the race like that.
I mean, I think you came out of the pits in 38th position from memory. That is, as I've said on the stream multiple times there, that's one of the best drives I've ever seen in Simland. So pat yourself on the back. Was there any sort of strategy? Did you need to cool down? I mean, you're a cool driver at the best of times, but I'm sure there was some red mist descending there on the first couple of laps as you come out of the pits.
I wouldn't have said so. Came out of the pits, and I think I was just barely ahead of, I think Nick was the leader at the time, and so when the safety car got called, that was like, blessing from above.
Yeah.
And so if the safety car hadn't have been called, obviously a different story, would have had to fall back through the pack, but I think just that was a critical turning point, and I think from that point onwards, no red mist, it was more of a, game on.
Yeah, good stuff.
That was... Sorry, a bit of lag here. I'm not sure what was going on. Alex, I've just had one more question for you. With that teleport to pits, did you end up being a lap down, or did you get back out in front about mid-pack by the time you got through there? Or what was your actual reading on the grand scheme of things? Did you just go to dead last, or was it a lap down as well?
After the first lap incident?
Yes.
No, pretty much crept the car the whole lap back round to the pits, pitted onto softs, I believe, and then the safety car got called as I came out, and so after that, you're already dead last, might as well pit again for supers and maximise pack reshuffling up a bit. But yeah, no, teleporting to pits, there wasn't anything needed there. I was able to get the car back in one piece for the most part. Turn 8 took the rest.
That was bloody fantastic, and a massive well done to you. As Chris said, I've never seen anything like that. That is some incredible stuff. I'm going to go to our third place getter in Matthew Cotter. I'll tell you what, Matt, you would have absolutely written yourself off probably 3 times during that race. And here we go. We've got basically the same top 3 that we anticipated to finish the race after it all looked out and done and dusted by halfway through. Tell us, how the hell did you get through all of that back market nonsense that we were seeing through the field, and damage to the steering and everything else? What the hell was going on?
Let's just say I'm just as surprised as you to be here in third. But yeah, I had track cuts maxed out halfway through the race, or an hour and 15 left to go, and cut turn 1 and had to brake hard to not get a drive through, and it speared me off into the wall. But then I could turn right at turn 8 pretty good, so then the safety car got called, and I was right, let's just have some fun here, see how many places we can make up, and next minute I'm up in the top 3-4 chasing Mello and the others.
It was incredible to watch because there was a lot of unforced errors by the drivers in front, and some not by their own fault either, that made you climb through the field. But when you had that steering damage, it looked pretty right hand down to me. Was it enough to give you a second a lap difference at the time, or was it only about a couple of tenths?
It was about a second and a half, 2 seconds a lap compared to where I was, but at the same time I was able to turn right a bit more. But yeah, I was just weighing up going, oh, cool, I can turn a bit better. Let's just roll with this and we'll have some fun in this race. It's out the window. Like 3 times that race, I thought it was gone, so just rolled with it.
And after all the trials and tribulations with your underdone practice and the setup with the ZB, what was the massive turning point for you with the tuning to get it right on a race strategy side of things? With the soft tyre, it behaves differently, obviously, but what was the big change for you that made the pace go from high 18s down into the low to mid 117s?
1 or 2 tweaks to dampers and suspension, but funnily enough, that car handled better and more consistently on soft tyres than it did on supers throughout that whole race. So I think I was on par with Mello McKuen on softs, and supers they just blitzed me and ran away.
I'll tell you what, it was bloody good. Chris Munro, you've got some questions for Nick Mello, nonetheless our second place getter, and geez, he would have been absolutely stoked with maybe an unforced error from Marsden in front of him, but that was a hell of a fight. Nick Mello, Chris Munro, take it away and give us your thoughts on Nick Mello's race.
Yeah, it was a well fought second place in the end, but I mean, you were the leader there for quite some time. At what point were you starting to worry about your teammate starting to sort of climb up the ranks behind you in your rearview mirror?
Literally from the second he had the accident, I told him he could still be in the fight for the win so long as he got back on the lead lap.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What actually happened, I think it was under safety car or something, or just after the safety car, there was a massive server lag spike and Alex's car just like torpedoed into mine.
Oh, no.
And took me out. But yeah, which is obviously no one's fault. But yes, and then after that, I got involved in someone's accident at turn 8, and then it was just a long, hard recovery drive because I had to fix suspension damage and then just fought back. And I kind of thought, I'm just going to go for the positions by going aggressively on supers and worry about defending on the other end of it. But yeah, I don't know if you guys caught it on the stream, but when Harley Marshall had his crash, he actually tagged me through turn 8. I did a full 360 spin, dropped one spot and kept going without touching the walls.
We did catch that. You did the 360 spin, and Harley did a dead set, what do you call it, a double kickflip, bloody pop shove it, if you're into skating terms. He was just up in the air for about 15 seconds. I've never seen a car hit the wall so hard. I was surprised that you seemed to get out of that unscathed in the grand scheme of things. But
yeah,
gee whiz, and putting the pressure on Marsden there at the end as well. So
he was actually a lot faster than me, and I'm sure you could tell from Cotter as well at the end there. but he just kept on getting really bad end of the stick with lap traffic, so I kept on catching him up, and I think it kind of mentally kept him under pressure, even though he was quicker than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like at the end there, Cotter was gaining like a second or 2 seconds a lap or something crazy like that. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend dragging super soft tyres for 21 laps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we knew they were shagged in the end, but also Marston had the distraction of his household just turning into an absolute party behind him in the anticipation of a podium win, or at least a podium place. So you guys have done well there to keep him out of it, and I'm sure Marsden's neighbours and anyone else in an earshot in Brisbane are probably grateful for that. So, Zach O'Reilly, have you got anything to add?
Look, I just want to say massive congratulations to all of you gentlemen here in the top three. That was probably 2 out of 3 of you I wouldn't have predicted, and that would be Alex McKuen and Matt Cotter to be sitting here in the podium positions after everything. That was some incredible driving. Nick Mello, well done to yourself, and also big congratulations to Alex for the dominating win, nearly a lap clear of everyone by the time the finish line was crossed there with 56 or 7 odd seconds there. That was a stunning drive, and Matt Cotter, well done to get that car under grips here at Adelaide. But I'll tell you what, the next round, gents, is going to be a massive one. We are off into Portimao, which is a cracking circuit in itself. I hope you guys are excited for that. Have you all raced there before? I wouldn't know.
I think once with no practice, and it's not a fun track for me, so we'll say that's the drop round.
Cotter, is that your drop round, or are you excited?
Oh, I raced it in ACC and hated it, so I hate it more in the V8s, but I rock up and have fun.
Come on, McKuen, give us something positive to end on here. We've got negative. Give us a positive, surely.
It'll be a shake-up. That's all I can add.
It's a cracking circuit, and really good for racing the V8s, funnily enough. I think we did it in season 7 or 8 here in AK Racing the last time we ventured over there on that side of the planet. So it's going to be a good one. The international flavour is pretty strong this season, and Sensational TV are happy to fly me and Zach halfway across the world to sit in the commentary box. I wonder if Rabs's sponsors are going to send him across as well.
I don't know. He just walks in and out as he pleases.
He does what he wants.
He does what he wants. He can. He's the great man. So we'll see whether he decides to make an appearance over in Portugal. But yeah, that'll be one for us to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're going to have to end it there. Thank you guys so much for the entertainment out there in YouTube land, and thank you all to the viewers. And I mean, 19 of you guys sticking around for the post-race interviews is testament to the racing that these guys provide every fortnight here at AK Racing. If you want to get involved in the racing there at AK, the link for the Discord is down in the description as well. Give us a like and subscribe on the channel. If you want to give us some money, there's a bloody Patreon link there as well. It's not too much. It's about a coffee per month, which isn't too much to you, but to us, it all adds up in the end and makes our time worthwhile. But Zach O'Reilly, do you want to take us to the end of the stream?
With absolute desperation and pleasure. I'll give you the hot tip there, Chris Munro. We are live next week racing here at Sensational TV, ladies and gentlemen, for the Wednesday Cup. It is back here, and we are racing in the Renault Clio Cup cars. So join us here on the YouTube channel for that live at Sensational TV. It's going to be absolutely fantastic to see here. We have got at least 30 cars ready to sign up on the track, ready to go racing. And I'll tell you what, we are on like Donkey Kong at Vallelunga there for the Renault Clio Cup for Wednesday Cup coming up at AK Racing. So stick around for that. Later on in the month too, we are in Assetto Corsa Competizione as well for a Motorsport Australia gig too. That is going to be huge with some AK Racing drivers involved with that and everyone else in sundry. So that is going to be something to look forward to. A big month coming away in August as well. So stick around for that later on then. But for all of us here and our races here in the top 3 position, Christine, thank you very much for attending. It is over and out here for us at Sensational TV. I've been Chris Munro. I've been Chris Munro. I wish I was. Sometimes I was. Stay-at-home dad. It's got its perks. I'll give you the hot tip. Yeah. I've been Zach O'Reilly. Chris Munro will always be Chris Munro. Ray Rabs Ryan will just be in and out whenever he wants. And for us here at Sensational TV, it's good night, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Wednesday Cup.